All right, let's move on, shall we? The Lieutenant Governor of the great state of Florida is Jay Collins, and he's joining us right now on Florida's Voice, the LG. Although I don't know if I can call him the LG. Am I allowed to call you the LG, sir? Is that okay?
Yeah, I'm good, man. You can call me Jay. You can call me LG. We're good.
I like
How you doing, man?
I like the LG. Good to speak to you again. First of all, running for governor. Let's talk about this because I want people to know a little bit more about you because you have such a distinguished history and a lot of what you've done here in the state. So I would love if you would pass some of that on to the people that are listening across the state.
Oh, Andrew, thank you. I'm a retired Army Green Beret, but before that, I was born to a broken home, 16-year-old kid adopted by my grandparents, son of a failed farmer, joined the Army, ended up becoming a Green Beret, got shot, did surgery on myself, saved my arm, got hit by a mortar, ended up losing a leg about 7 years later, requalified as a Green Beret, did 5 years after, retired, worked in the nonprofit sector, and then about 4 years ago got into politics because with what happened during COVID, where we saw so much of our federal government usurping individual freedoms, and then what happened in Afghanistan, those two things together, man, it was more than I could stand. So we jumped in, got elected as a state senator, passed 55 bills in 3 years. That's more than most people pass in 8. Many of the things that the governor has talked about are the things that I had the opportunity to run as a state senator out of Tampa, Florida. And then about 5 months ago, I had the unique opportunity to be appointed the 21st Lieutenant Governor by our great Governor, Ron DeSantis. And it's something that I'm incredibly proud of and grateful for and honored to serve our 23.5 million people.
So now when you're looking at serving the people, what are you hearing? What are they asking for and about specifically? What are the concerns that you have as we move forward here in the state and some of the communication with people about what's going on here?
Everywhere I go, and I've had one of the things I love about being lieutenant governor is I get to get out and talk to more people all over the state. We have done hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of events and meetings and different things around the state. Affordability is obviously something that's near and dear to people's hearts, whether it's insurance, dropping those rates further, property tax, which has taken a lot of conversation over the last 2 to 3 months, or it's finding ways to draw in more industry and create better paying jobs. That is probably the number one thing that we get asked about.
Yeah.
Obviously, go ahead, Drew.
I was going to say, do they ask you about property tax? Because that seems like a big one. Yeah.
100%. It's either the property tax is the lead or it's insurance is a lead, but it ends up taking care of both. Look, property tax is something we are working through and trying to figure out how to get homesteaded properties exempt, right? We're going to push for the most we can do. And that is a governor's plan, is to be able to own your home free and clear of the government. About 30% of our property tax dollars in the state come from homesteaded properties. That's the numbers we have right now. The governor will roll out his strategy here when he's ready. And, happy to hop on here again and talk about that more when his is out. But I'm not going to get over my skis and ahead of him. That is his to release, and I've got his back on that, right?
Yeah.
But I do know this: the American dream is owning your home, and getting the government out of the way is critical. But why it's so important is it's one of the few levers we can actually actuate as a state. So many things have federal pieces that we can't control, far beyond our control. We've done what we can with insurance. In terms of tort reform, you see that market stabilizing.
Right.
You see our auto market dropping.
Yeah.
It's all very good. But property tax is the next closest way. But the thing that I actually bring people to when it comes to affordability, man, the American dream isn't just saving yourself into success. It's also building better jobs, bringing in more opportunities. We have a ton of businesses that have moved here. We have to keep bringing those folks in. Bring in higher paying jobs, more opportunity. There's a big push right now with shipbuilding. We're the number one shipbuilding state in America in terms of quantity. There's some opportunities to bring in more jobs, higher paying jobs, and do more of that with President Trump pushing that industry, especially right now. Cranes, for shipping containers. Those are only built in China and like Germany and Ireland. Why can't we build them here? Yeah. That's an opportunity to create wealth, jobs, and opportunity. We should be doing more of that.
Yeah. Absolutely, I agree. Lieutenant Governor of the great state of Florida, Jay Collins, is joining us right now on Florida's Voice. I hope you don't mind if I ask you some of these questions, only because people have been talking to me and asking a lot about what has been going on with the political environment here in the state, especially with the races right now. And if people are wondering, obviously, it's early and they see the numbers and they're wondering, like, what is the path to victory for you specifically? And not just that, but the governor. I think people were expecting there was going to be an endorsement of you by the governor, and he has not. And so I'm just wondering, can you win without his endorsement? And if not, or if you can, what is the path?
Yeah, so Drew, that's a very fair question. I'm actually really glad you asked that. Let me be clear about this. In Ron DeSantis' world, I'm not owed anything, right? I never expected to launch with an endorsement. I am very blessed to be handpicked by him to be his lieutenant governor at a time when he is in his last session and coming to the end of his 8-year term, which was incredibly successful. I think that speaks volumes. You have heard him talk about being prepared on day one, being able to be a governor. He has been very clear on his thoughts and abilities. But the reason that I went through a very long process to jump into this race was clear. One, being new to politics, I wanted to make sure that I was prepared, that I would do service to the state of Florida, that my family, my community were, the surrounding people around me were there. Because this is a big step. Yeah. And it's not something I take lightly. But more than that, I'm a military man. I am a boots on the ground. I want to talk to people. I want to get things done. And I am incredibly aggressive in terms of wanting to do more and serve our people and make things successful. And I want to make sure that actually resonates with folks. But the last thing is this, and I had to go show them that if I'm a newly appointed lieutenant governor, I am not going to come ask the people of Florida if I can be the governor if I haven't proven that I'm competent and capable in the job I was just appointed to. So I thought it was imperative to go out there and earn people's trust and show them who I am, what I'm about, and be present in the communities everywhere. And that's what I've been doing. So we got into the race. Right now, we did our own polling, all clear, legitimate polling that showed us in double digits in vote share before I was a candidate. Our name ID is up. The path is clear. There are plenty of people who have kept their powder dry. And I want to remind people, I know what's being said. Oh, it's done. He's got the money. He's got the endorsements. 8 years ago, on January 5th, Governor DeSantis announced his campaign. And the path was the same exact way. 8 years before that, Governor Rick Scott wasn't even a candidate in January. He launched, I believe, in April. No one had really heard of either of them in terms of candidates jumping into the race. They both won. Opportunities there. What's unique about Florida is that people expect you to go work, show up, earn it. And I know more than anything else, competition drives excellence. And as a Republican, we're not afraid of challenge, right? We're going to push that. And that keeps our republic healthy. It's the right way to do things. And we have a clear path. The window is there. The support structure is there. And, we're going to do what we do. And I appreciate that question, Drew. Very fair.
Yeah. And, the other thing, obviously, is the president endorsing Congressman Donalds. And, that's got to be tough for any candidate because of how beloved the president is. And obviously, that is something where when people see someone who's running or getting into the race against a Trump-endorsed candidate, they feel like it might be tough. And so, what do you think about the president's endorsement, but yet you're in the race? So what are your thoughts on that?
Drew, very fair. So let's talk about that. Yep. Obviously, you've heard me talk about the president. I'm 100% supportive of our America First agenda, supportive of what he's done. And I want to remind people, I served under the president. I served under 4 presidents. He was incredible. I would say exquisite in his focus on taking care of our military, giving us the time, tool, and talent we needed to go do our job, and then letting us do our job, not playing games. Man, it was amazing. He signed my retirement orders, right? It's my retirement certificate. Grateful for all of that. This is not a Trump versus DeSantis thing. This is we are all on Team America. Florida leads. When Florida leads, America wins. We're all working together. But let's talk about the numbers. when we did our polling, it actually showed something very interesting. And it showed that when head to head, Byron and myself, without me having the DeSantis endorsement and people being aware of Byron having the Trump endorsement, we were only a couple of percentage points behind him. That means that people value the military record. They value that experience. Mm-hmm. They value what those things mean. And that was before I was a candidate. There is a path, but I want everyone to know we are so lucky, Drew, to live in a state led by Governor Ron DeSantis and to have our president be from Florida and lead our nation in a time when we actually see results being done. You see Venezuela breaking. We captured Maduro. We've kept Iran at bay and showed them what walking softly and carrying a big stick or peace through strength truly means. We're lucky to live in this time. But no, look, man, the path is there. It's clear. And it's not Trump versus DeSantis. It's people working together to help push our republic forward.
Yeah, I mean, we hope that's not. Candidate. Yeah, we hope that's not the case, because when you think Trump versus DeSantis, you don't want it to be that way. Nobody wanted it to. I know we only have like about a minute left, but yeah, nobody wanted it to be that way. That's the point. And so to be united is so important because we've got a lot of work to do. I mean, just because 100%. we do things so well in the state, it doesn't mean there aren't people here who would like to, do things like tell you they're a Republican, but actually they're Democrats. They put an R after their name, crossing their fingers that people might vote for them because they're not vetting candidates, they're not checking on background, things like that. So we just have to make sure that's getting done. But in the meantime, we've got to run. I would love to have you back anytime you want to come back.
Let's do it.
It's always great to speak with you. And don't get mad if I call you LG the next time too, because I just think it's cool. When so I don't know, but
Drew, we're good, man. I'm not a big title guy. Look, my parents gave me a name. I go by Jay.
All right.
You earn respect as a person, not just because of a title.
I appreciate
you. Thank you for having me on. I look forward to doing it again.
All right. All the best. God bless. All
Thanks.
right.
See you.
So that's Lieutenant Governor Jay Collins joining us on Florida's Voice. Yeah, there's a lot going on, a lot of dynamics here. People, he doesn't want to look at it as a Trump versus DeSantis issue here in the state. A lot of people do. Whether rightly or wrongly, it's just people do. It's tough when you have a Trump-endorsed candidate. So, in Byron Donalds, a lot to talk about here. A lot going on in the state. Top of the news next.
You're listening to Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.
I'm Chris Jakimick. I served in the United States Air Force and I deployed 3 times. Being a veteran, it's interwoven into your DNA, is really the absence of the connection and the purpose that can really drive a lot of veterans to some negative thoughts. For those who are in a suicidal crisis, the window of time to save somebody's life is very short. Our duty is to protect ourselves and protect our families, and one way you can do that is store your weapons safely. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
Hey, it's Drew Steele, and I have to tell you, when my wife and I talked about getting new kitchen countertops for our house, we know who to call. Rock Solid Countertops and More, 2240 JNC Boulevard in Naples. And they have been absolutely amazing. Hugo and the team are the best. The workmanship has been absolutely incredible. The install was so easy. The process was perfect. Taking everything out, bringing the new stuff in. The quartz countertop is unbelievably beautiful, and my wife is super happy, I'll tell you. You know they have the best quality and selection of marble, quartz, granite, and a one-stop shop for all of your kitchen, outdoor, and bathroom needs. I've known it for years. I've lived in Southwest Florida 40 years. There was really only one place I was going to go. It's Rock Solid Countertops and More. I would suggest you give them a call, 596-7676. They're at 2240 JNC Boulevard in Naples. Find out what they can do for you. Countertops, cabinets, plantation shutters, they do it all. Rock Solid Countertops and More.
Let's see, if something costs less, a lot less, but people are actually happier with it, that sounds like something to look into. And that's MetaShare. Maybe you've heard joining MetaShare can save you or your family up to $500 a month, and that's huge, but it's also true. People are just happier with it. They love being part of something that reflects and promotes their values and what they believe in. MetaShare works, too. It's been around for 30 years now, and members have shared more than $7 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network, so yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care, whether you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan that you're happy with. Here you go. You can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. It's 855-SHARE-40. 855-SHARE 40. 855-SHARE-40. 855-SHARE-40.
Since the dawn of time, man and wildlife have shared a connection, and hunting traditions passed down from generation to generation have connected man to the natural world, from bow and arrow to hook and bullet. As man evolved, our link to those traditions remain with them forever. Yet today, our basic instinct to provide and as part of the hunt to conserve and appreciate the natural world has fallen under attack for the first time in human history. The misguided politicians and radical activists pushing an agenda to end hunting as we know it, or leading a war against our heritage and their misguided policies and protests. They demonize hunters and belittle our way of life, the results of hunters leaving the sport in droves, while our wildlife and ecosystems suffer the consequences as conservation funding dries up. Named after the father of the North American model for wildlife conservation, the International Order of T. Roosevelt is fighting in the arena to protect and expand the rights of hunters everywhere. We will fight back against these forces to make sure that every American has a right to hunt, enshrined in their state constitutions. We will educate the next generation in our traditions and seek to expand accessibility so that everyone can enjoy our pastimes. And we will continue to hold true to our namesake's efforts to protect, preserve, and ensure open access to our nation's wild lands. Teddy Roosevelt's vision for American conservation defines our modern hunting and conservation system, a system upheld by the idea that conservation efforts are crucial to our hunting way of life, and that hunters are crucial to successful conservation.
To some, the sound of a baby babbling doesn't mean much, but that's not true. They're testing out vowels and consonants and trying different sounds. And by 12 months, their babbling is beginning to take on meaning, especially if there's no babbling at all. Little to no babbling by 12 months or later is just one of the possible signs of autism in children. Learn more at autismspeaks.org.
Hey, it's Drew Steele. Look, are you still playing defense with your money? It's time to shift gears and seize the fresh opportunities this new pro-business environment has to offer. That's exactly what certified financial planner professional Alfie Townsend and the team at Advantage Retirement Group do for high net worth investors like you, helping you go on the offense with advanced tax strategies, thoughtful risk management, and forward-thinking financial planning. Imagine enjoying the retirement lifestyle you've worked so hard to achieve, all while staying one step ahead, and in a changing world, you've got to do it. Alfie and his team design personalized strategies to strengthen your financial foundation so you can focus on living life on your terms. Ready to find out more? Text VISIT to 239-747-7470. Again, you can call or text 239-747-7470. Schedule your one-on-one consultation today and see how a proactive approach can help you thrive no matter what the market does next. Don't wait. Call or text VISIT to 239-747-7470 right now.
Now, back to Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.
Don't forget, Florida's Voice with Drew Steele, the podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get it. Florida's Voice, is also on social media at FL Voice News on YouTube, Rumble, X, Facebook, and Instagram if you want to watch live right now. If you're driving, not right now, but maybe in a little while when you get to your destination. All right, top of the news from the Florida's Voice newsroom.
Top of the news, Florida's headlines. Now.
Let's see, AP Anita Padilla is in the Florida's Voice newsroom today with the latest. What's up?
There, Drew, topping the news right now, the State Department pausing immigrant visa processing for dozens of countries as it tightens screening under the so-called public charge rules. Starting January 21st, consular officers will temporarily stop issuing visas while officials reassess whether applicants are likely to rely on public benefits. The move is of particular interest here in Florida, especially given the state's proximity and longstanding ties to Cuba and Haiti. Both were included in that pause. The State Department says the hold will last indefinitely and that exceptions will be very limited. Arkansas Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders throwing her support behind Congressman Byron Donalds in Florida's race for governor. Sanders called Donalds a tough, tested conservative and praised his support for law enforcement and families. Donalds, who represents Southwest Florida, is running to succeed term-limited Governor Ron DeSantis. His campaign says the endorsement adds a growing momentum, including strong fundraising and early polling leads in the Republican primary. And Governor Ron DeSantis has appointed Judge Adam Tannenbaum to the Florida Supreme Court, giving the governor 6 of the court's 7 justices. DeSantis made that announcement this morning at Tannenbaum's alma mater, Seminole Heights School, and he praised his academic record and appellate experience. The governor said that Tannenbaum embodies a judicial philosophy that is rooted in applying the law and Constitution as written, not legislating from the bench. And Tannenbaum called himself an originalist and said judges must show humility and faithfulness to the test of the law. All right, that's it for now, but I'll be back in our next hour at 4:35 to tell you about a Republican candidate for governor unveiling a sweeping public safety plan with a very sharp focus on child sex trafficking and online exploitation. I'm going to break down what he's proposing and why he says Florida must act right now. That's it for now. I'm Anita Padilla, the news director. Drew, I'll toss it back over to you.
All right, and I caught it. I dropped it. Okay, anyway, sorry. Thank you, AP, in the Florida's Voice newsroom. Sometimes she tosses it to me, and I'm not ready for it. Anytime you want to check out what they're working on, it's flvoicenews.com. That's Florida's Voice. You know, a couple of things that I have noticed in the past, basically 12 hours, as I've been perusing the interwebs and checking about what we were going to talk about today on this program. One of the things is, for sure, we need big-time MAGA conservatives running for office. Because when you see some of the people that are out there and some of what they're doing and what they're getting caught saying and then how they treat it. Like, for example, here's Bill Malugin from Fox News, who was asking lefty Representative Dexter about the statement she made about the shooting in Portland and the statement she made about ICE. But there's a little more to the story, and I just wanted you to check this out real fast. Listen.
Why didn't you wait for any facts to come out on the Portland Border Patrol shooting before you put your statement out?
Yeah, why didn't you wait for facts before you put the statement out about the shooting there in Portland? And
I did not make a statement about the...
You did. It's on Twitter.
No, I made a statement. I did not say anything about whether or not those folks were rightfully having...
You said ICE is terrorizing the community. It wasn't ICE. It was Border Patrol, and you said
My question for you is, did they follow due process?
Okay, no. We're not doing that. It drives me crazy when the left does that. Let me ask you a question. No, answer my question. It's not about... Just answer the question. And then when they get caught, and you have the humming, that whole thing that's going on, it just reminds you that, again, you need to have really great conservatives running for office. And as a matter of fact, speaking of one, I was perusing the interwebs. Thanks, Al Gore. Evan Power for Congress, conservative fighter, MAGA conservative Evan Power announces run for Congress. Is that right? Well, there's only one way to find out. Why don't we ask him? Here he is right now, joining us on Florida's Voice. How are you?
I'm doing great.
I know you are. This is awesome news. So tell me more about this.
So we didn't see it coming, but Congressman Neil Dunn chose to retire. It's an open seat up here in the Panhandle. And what I know is Donald Trump needs conservative fighters who will go to Washington, D.C. and fight alongside him. He needs that support. That's what the Panhandle wants, and that is what Florida wants, and that's what our nation needs right now.
Absolutely. By the way, the Florida GOP chairman currently joining us, Evan Power. And so this is CD2, right? Is that where we are? That's yes. CD2, right? So tell me about what, if people want to know a little bit more about not just why you're running, but also some of the details, some of the things that you would like to see get done. Because just like I mentioned, Evan, right? When you have people in Congress that are acting like that are saying some of the most awful things about law enforcement, that are going against the MAGA conservatives in every way, shape, and form. We've got to stand up and fight, and politically, no doubt about it, and push back against some of the ideology that we've already seen destroys the country. Thanks, Joe Biden.
Yeah, the auto pen showed us exactly what was going to happen. Yeah. I have two small children, so every day I wake up and I look at those two small children, and I want to fight for the country that I grew up in the values that we had as Americans together in that time. And what right now, the left is so radical that they're importing failed policies from other countries. It's failed across the globe, their socialism, their communism, their progressivism, and they want to bring it here. And beyond that, Congress has been broken for a while. We need people who will go up there and shake things up, because we need Congress working for the people of America, not for anything else.
Yeah, absolutely. And, some of the work that you have been able to do here in the state just has been incredible as far as the party and what we've been able to accomplish. And I think people have probably whispered in your ear a little bit about how that's the kind of political fight, those values, what we have done here, we need to bring that to Washington, D.C.,
That is correct. I mean, I get asked the question all the time, and we've talked about it. What is the secret to Florida success? And it's candidates who campaign and deliver on the promises they made on the campaign trail. I want to go to D.C. to show people Florida is working, and I want Congress to pass Florida-type laws so that we can move our country forward and not give in to the radical left. We shouldn't be debating whether ICE agents should be enforcing the law. That is what should be happening. Right. And so all this craziness from the liberal left, I'm ready to go and fight day one to make sure that message is clear in Congress, that we won't tolerate that discussion. And just look at Florida, what happens when we don't tolerate those kind of things from the left.
Yeah, absolutely. Before we go, I was going to say this. Sometimes, I'm trying to think of the best way to put this. There are certain times in our history, with the state's history, where people get upset when great people will leave one position to go for another because they look at the position that you're leaving. It's like, what are we going to do now? The great news is, has anybody said that to you? Because, what ends up happening is you, and this is why I'm bringing it up in this context, because we do have a lot of great Republicans here in the state that get it, that know what needs to be done, that know what leadership looks like. And so I'm sure people have said that to you, right? Like, you're going to leave. What do we do now? Well, I'm confident everything is going to be all right.
No, we got a strong RPOF team. When you look at, and they're ready to step in, it's the next man up. We'll figure that part out. But if you look at what happened to Florida, we lost Marco Rubio, Ashley Moody standing in and doing an admirable job filling that Senate seat. We have a very deep bench here in Florida, and that's why I feel confident that I can leave this job and go to Congress, because that's where the fight is.
That's awesome. All right, Evan. Well, this was fantastic. I can't wait to talk to you more now about your run for Congress. This is awesome. All right. I'm super excited for you. All the best. God bless. And I look forward to the next time we get together, okay?
Thank you very much.
All right. Great to see you. That is Evan Power, running for Congress, CD2, and obviously the head of the RPOF. Right now, and just exciting times. There's a lot of great things that are going on here in the state, no doubt. All right, 866-588-8303 is the phone number. A couple of other things that have been popping up. All right, let's see about this one. Did this just happen a little while ago? I think it was our own Eric Doherty who was talking about, the 17 Republicans that voted along with Democrats to move out of the House subsidies for Obamacare. And it's like, What? Yeah, you did this. Sometimes it gets frustrating when you see Republicans, I'm sure they're rhinos, but you have Republicans that will side with Democrats, Obamacare subsidies, and it makes the political fight tougher when this happens. Luckily, we have a president in office who's like, probably going to veto this thing. What about the Senate?
The Senate proceed to its immediate consideration, that the bill be read 3 times and passed, and that the motion to reconsider be considered made and laid upon the table.
I know what you're saying. You're like, the motion to reconsider the consideration of the considerate? Is that, I don't know what's going on here. Well, apparently the Senate blocked the House-passed legislation giving these billions of dollars to the insurance companies for 3 years under Obamacare. It's pretty much what it is. And the 17 House Republicans that basically betrayed us all, and the president specifically, with regard to this issue. And he would have vetoed it if it were going to get through the Senate anyway, but it didn't. So that was a very good thing. Yeah, you can give it to me. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, look at that. All right, so there's a little bit of good news. There's some other news that we are looking at that is out there today. Oh my, there's so much that's going on. I know. I was looking at some of the stories about election fraud. I know, you're not going to believe this, but there are some people that are talking about, hey, do you realize there's a lot going on right now as far as elections and election fraud, mail-in ballot issues? The president of the United States is like, can we stop with the whole mail-in ballot thing? Now, momentarily here, where we are, we're in a position where we've got to use what we have, the tools we have. If mail-in ballots are those tools right now, we need to be better about it than Democrats. That's just the way it is. Until things change, until we have voting one day, that's it. I can't do it. Really? 364 days ahead of time what day you're going to need to vote. And there's no way, no time between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. You can't find the time at all to vote. Are you sure about that? I'm thinking no. That's just me personally. So the Supreme Court ruled 7-2, two lefties, that Congressman Mike Bost has standing to challenge the Illinois mail-in ballot counting procedure. Yeah, I know. How about, go ahead, you can give it to me, yeah. Now, why are we getting excited about that? Because he can sue over state election rules, and it was a challenge to the policy allowing, listen to this, allowing mail-in ballots postmarked by Election Day to be counted up to 2 weeks after the election. No, we don't do that here. No. Well, they do it there. And the Republican from Illinois is like, yeah, I'm suing the Illinois State Board of Elections because this is ridiculous. We've seen how this works and how it plays out, and how, you see at 9, 10 o'clock at night, you see Donald Trump is leading Joe Biden by astronomical numbers. It would take a miracle. And it's like, I think we're ready for bed. We're ready for bed. We're ready for bed now. We'll count them first thing in the morning, okay? That kind of thing. No, we're not doing that. Or this. So this is a huge win. And that means congressional candidates can legally challenge these mail-in voting laws. That's ridiculous. And we need to. All right. Let's see. 866-588-8303. Anytime you want to call the program. Coming up, there was truly a remarkable interview with the father of Renee Good. That was the 37-year-old woman who was blocking traffic, ultimately hit the ICE officer who shot through the windshield and took her life. And remember, there were people saying she never hit him. Yeah, there's some news on that to prove otherwise. But what a remarkable interview, CNN with her dad. And in just a little while, we'll play it, and you'll see why I say that.
You're listening to Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says,
Avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
oh, it's on...
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, Honey Bear.
Because remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
All right, son. Time to put out this campfire.
Dad, we learned about this in school.
Oh, did you now? Okay. What's first?
Smokey Bear said to.
First drown it with a bucket of water, then stir it with a shovel.
Wow. You sound just like him.
Then he said.
If it's still warm, then do it again.
Where can I learn all this?
It's all on SmokeyBear.com with other wildfire prevention tips, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
You know, a lot of times you have to choose between something high quality or something that saves you money. But if you could get both, why not? Especially when it comes to healthcare, and that is MediShare. You get both. Many families save $500 a month with MediShare, and that's huge. But it's also true that people wind up way more satisfied, too. The member satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. That's because MediShare works. It has for more than 30 years. It's a community of Christians who have shared more than $5 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth. They love the huge PPO network. So, yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price in 2 minutes. Here's the number. Just call 855-SHARE-40. That's 855-SHARE-40. 855-SHARE-40.
Hey, it's Drew Steele. Look, if you're looking to take advantage of today's pro-business environment and strengthen your financial future, certified financial planner professional Alfie Townsend and his team at Advantage Retirement Group have got you covered. They specialize in advanced tax strategies, risk management, and retirement planning, all aimed at helping high net worth investors like you thrive. Now, Alfie wants to share those insights with you with his book, Keeping You on the Retirement Fairway. It's packed with practical tips and forward-thinking strategies to help you make the most out of your hard-earned wealth. Ready to get your free copy? Text BOOK to 239-747-7470. That's 239-747-7470. Don't wait. Learn how to capitalize on that pro-business opportunities that are out there right now and secure the confident retirement you deserve. Once again, text BOOK to 239-747-7470 right now, and let Alfie Townsend and Advantage Retirement Group help guide you toward a stronger, more confident financial future.
We're with Bridget, whose husband won't be home for months and whose daughter is due any day. We're with Mike, who's leaving home to protect his family and yours. We're with all service members and their families who need community, connection, and maybe a bit of magic. Are you with them? Learn more at USO.org today. We're with Liam after his 4th military move, when being new is starting to get old. We're with Tara during the holidays, when she misses home the most. We're with all service members and their families who need connection, comfort, and a home away from home. Are you with them? Learn more at USO.org today.
Now, back to Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.
When it's like a gas type bombing, you really don't know what it is, so you just gotta dip and pray it's nothing too serious. We have like bleach, Windex, everything. We pretty much didn't know what we were working with at that time, so we just completely did a whole disinfectation, because, you know, obviously we work with food. We're a mom and pop pastry place.
Is a disinfectation, is that a word, D? Disinfectation. We did a whole...
Disinfectation?
Did he say a disinfectation or did he say disfectation? I think he said
Isn't it just disinfection?
Yeah, you know what? I'm okay with that. Here's the thing. A customer in Connecticut was attacked with bear spray while entering the restaurant. And apparently it was unprovoked. And that was the employee who was there. It was called Chop Poppy is the name of the place. And they're a pastry place. And guy walks in, all of a sudden he gets bear sprayed. Now, here's the question, D. Is it possible that the person thought the person walking in was a bear?
No.
Okay.
Marijuana?
Just saying, there could be circumstances where you just never... Anyway, hey, let's move on. All right, anytime you want to watch NFL Voice News on YouTube, Rumble, X, and Facebook. I know this is going to sound crazy, but for the longest time in the United States of America, they were not allowing whole milk to be served to kids. Whole milk! Are you kidding me? No, you got to have skim milk or 2% or Vim and Vigor or something like what are you talking about? Why would you not give children whole milk? It's important. It's a good thing. And so the Whole Milk for Healthy Kids Act of 2025 was signed by the President of the United States today. To me, that is, Dee, do you remember, was there ever a time when you were drinking as a kid 2% milk, or were you drinking whole milk? Do you remember? Like when you were...
I was always drinking 2%.
Really? Okay. It's because the government told you that it was healthier? Like we had to get rid of the fats, right? Is that what it was?
That's just what my parents would buy. I don't know if they were influenced in any way, shape, or form, but that's what was in the house.
Yeah, my mom would buy something called Vim and Vigor. In New York, they had something called Vim. Go, can you do me? She would say, "Hey, do me a favor. Can you go get me some Vim and Vigor?" Okay. And I don't know. It was. Is it possible? There's 2%. There's whole milk, and then there's water. That's milky, like that kind of thing. So this is a beautiful thing. And here's a moment where the president is with the press. I mean, obviously, the president takes a lot of questions from the press. It wasn't just about whole milk and the Healthy Kids Act, which is very important. But there's always questions about anything and everything that's going on in the United States and the globe. But first, there was this moment. The president's got a big old glass gallon of, I guess that's a gallon of, is that a half gallon of milk in front of him? And he says,
"The milk here, it's been sitting here for 5 days, so it's from the original bottle, and I brought it so the press can have some. You can swig it all out of it." Remember the old days when we were kids, everybody shared a bottle? Today we tend not to do that, but if you'd like to, if you trust the person that you're drinking after, it's right here, it's yours, okay? It's semi-fresh, 5-6 days old.
Semi-fresh, 5-6 days. Oh, man. So, and it is a glass bottle, and there was a time, I know this is going to be hard for you to believe, D, but if we go back, way back in time, are you ready for this? There was a time in the United States where the milkman would bring glass bottles to your front door.
Yeah, in the milk crates.
And put it not only in a milk crate, but some people had like milk bins, like a metal bin, and you'd open up the top and put the glass in. Why can't we do that? How about the Whole Milk for Healthy Kids Act, and let's get the milkman back to my front door with the Fresh Milk Act of 2026. I'm just picking a year because, we're in it. I like that idea. All right, we need to take a break. My name is Drew Steele. It's Florida's Voice.
You're listening to Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.
It's 4 a.m., Monday, and you're literally sucking baby snot through a tube because she's congested. Man, that's love. And if you love her that much, love her enough to make sure she's buckled in the right car seat. To make sure your child's in the right seat for their age and size, visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Show them you love them. Keep them safe. Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council. You let him try violin because you love him. And if you love him that much, love him enough to make sure he's buckled up and in the back seat. Find out more at nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
No way.
No way. No way. No way. My kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Talk to your kid about vaping. Visit talkaboutvaping.org.
You're listening to Florida's Voice with Drew Steele. Florida's Voice. with Drew Steele.
Congratulations on your show. Congratulations on your new show. Big deal, huh?
That's why shows like yours are so important. We have an independent county elected sheriff that's the head of law enforcement in Jacksonville/Duval County. And I know how to work toward making this city safe.
We can't be shy about speaking on things such as faith and politics. We have to remember, in a free society, the public square belongs to all of us.
I'm not interested in North Florida looking like Orlando or Miami. I love where we live, but I think that good jobs means that people that live in this district can stay in this district.
Fishing and hunting is funding a large part of your conservation projects in Florida, and we want to make sure that those are forever preserved.
And the problem with this industry at this point is that they actually target our youth. You can see it in their marketing strategies, where it's bright colors, fun names.
And that's going to be endlessly litigated.
Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.
Hey, it's Drew Steele. Look, are you still playing defense with your money? Now might be the perfect time to go on offense and seize the opportunities presented by the new pro-business environment ushered in by President Trump and his administration. That's exactly what certified financial planner professional Alfie Townsend and his team at Advantage Retirement Group do for high net worth investors like you. They create strategies designed to help manage taxes, control risks, and boost your financial confidence. It's a forward-thinking approach that can strengthen your foundation so you can enjoy the lifestyle you've worked so hard to achieve. If you're ready to see how Alfie's team can help elevate your plan, call or text VISIT to 239-747-7470. Again, text VISIT to 239-747-7470. Schedule your one-on-one consultation today and discover proactive strategies to help you thrive in an ever-changing world. Again, text VISIT to 239-747-7470. Don't wait. Let Alfie Townsend and the Advantage Retirement Group team guide you toward a stronger, more confident financial future.
I've been dipping snuff for well over 30 years. You know, I could wake up in the morning and have a weird lump in my gums. Guess it's like playing Russian roulette, really. I would love grandchildren. And if by quitting it extends my life some, I would gladly lay it down.
Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com to find free resources to help you quit your way.
Today, push harder, push forward, push vigorously.
There are things that I am hiding from people that I'm trying to inspire.
You can do whatever you set your mind to.
I feel like a hypocrite a lot of the times.
Don't give up on yourself ever.
Smoking, I hide it because I'm ashamed of it. I want to get out of the shadow. I want to show people there is light away from the darkness. I am going to quit.
Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com to find free resources to help you quit your way.
We're with Bridget, whose husband won't be home for months and whose daughter is due any day. We're with Mike, who's leaving home to protect his family and yours. We're with all service members and their families who need community, connection, and maybe a bit of magic. Are you with them? Learn more at USO.org today. We're with Liam after his 4th military move, when being new is starting to get old. We're with Tara during the holidays, when she misses home the most. We're with all service members and their families who need connection, comfort, and a home away from home. Are you with them? Learn more at USO.org today.
Hey, it's Drew Steele, and you know I love the Floor Meisters in Naples. Locally family-owned business, 3 generations of Meisters. Listen, what are you looking for? Carpet, tile, hardwood, Core-Tech? Maybe that's what you're looking for. And why don't we talk to TJ Meister right now of the Floor Meisters and find out what's going on with Core-Tech. What's up, TJ?
Well, we're just keeping up with the demand for Core-Tech. Just had to order a truck and bring it in from the west coast of the United States to keep up with all the needs and wants of the people of Southwest Florida. Somebody doesn't have it, give me a call. I probably do.
I tell you, I love my Core-Tech floor. People love it. What is it about it that makes it so awesome?
Well, it's waterproof, kid-proof, pet-proof. So if you got a pool, no problem. If you got a dog, no problem. If you got a husband that spills, no problem.
Floor Meisters, that's who I trust, and you should as well. 6281 Naples Boulevard in Naples. 239-596-4964 for the Floor Meisters.
Let's see. If something costs less, a lot less, but people are actually happier with it, that sounds like something to look into. And that's MetaShare. Maybe you've heard joining MetaShare can save you or your family up to $500 a month, and that's huge. But it's also true. People are just happier with it. They love being part of something that reflects and promotes their values and what they believe in. MetaShare works, too. It's been around for 30 years now, and members have shared more than $7 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network, so yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care, whether you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan that you're happy with. Here you go. You can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. It's 855-SHARE-40. 855-SHARE-40. 855-SHARE-40.
Thank you for waking us all up out here, for all you do.
Thank you for giving us the voice.
For being out there helping keep the constitutional republic. I want to thank you for
Your support for veterans in the military.
educating us,
Standing up for conservatism.
giving us the truth.
Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.
Well, hey, everybody. Glad you're joining us today on Florida's Voice. My name is Drew Steele, Big D on the other side of the glass. You got Nina in the breaking newsroom and you hanging out with us at FL Voice News on YouTube, Rumble, X, Facebook, and Instagram. All right, coming up, scheduled to join us in a few minutes, D, or like in 10 more minutes or so, the Agriculture Commissioner of the great state of Florida, Wilton Simpson. Is that...
busy man, we'll see.
All right, okay, we don't know. He's very busy. I understand. All right, so some of the other things that we're watching include the president who just a little while ago signed the Whole Milk for Healthy Kids Act, was also asked about the Venezuela operations. We come to find out that there was a leaker on the operation and has been put in jail. How about that? So let's listen to the president just a little while ago.
Another piece of information that I think is very important is the leaker has been found and is in jail right now. And that's the leaker on Venezuela. We had a very bad leaker. So there could be some others, and we'll let you know about that. We're out on their trail. But the leaker has been found, and the leaker's in jail. And will probably be in jail for a long time. Let's see what happens.
We'll see what happens, and they should be. It's an interesting thing how the President of the United States has all kinds of issue with ICE and law enforcement and people blocking roads and blocking the law enforcement officials from being able to perform their duties, do their job, how there's leakers in the government that seem to want to put out all kinds of information that maybe shouldn't be. Some of it may be even top secret information. Well, I don't know. If we were getting ready to have an operation in Venezuela and somebody leaked that information, do you see why we have distrust for certain individuals? There are people who dislike, I guess, the country that much that they're willing to do this because they've been told by the left that it's all about saving the country. When meanwhile, it's really about your TDS on steroids and how you will do anything to bring this president down. And by default, it brings the country down. You probably don't see that part of it, do you? That's an issue. So the president talking about that. And also there was some comments on Iran that we'll get to momentarily. And, oh, by the way, there happens to be a bill being introduced to abolish ICE, which the only reason why I'm laughing is because for many people, abolishing ICE is beyond parody. When you hear certain people...
we must reform ICE, but it looks at this stage, folks, ICE is beyond reform.
No. There's no reform. What are you talking about? So that is Thanedar. That is Shah Thanedar. Is that his name? Shah Thanedar, representative who put this forward along with Benny Thompson and Ilhan Omar and others. And they're like, yeah, we gotta do this. So we have to now have a bill to abolish ICE, which is a funny thing because just the other day you had progressive lawmakers on the Homeland funding after the ICE shooting in Minnesota when they were asked about this very topic. And I don't know if you're watching on the screen at FL Voice News on YouTube, Rumble X, Facebook, and Instagram. I'll just explain what took place in a second if you're not watching. So the Progressive Caucus was asked a very interesting question by the press. Listen.
So if you propose defunding ICE, then how would you deal specifically with illegal immigrants who do have criminal backgrounds in the U.S.?
Yeah. What about that? By the way, it doesn't matter what the Progressive Caucus said. You have people that are standing there all shaking their heads like, no, you're not allowed to ask that question. That's a tough question. Like, what are we going to do now? So you're going to abolish ICE, so then what? Oh, I know. We'll leave it up to the local law enforcement who will handle it. Except, of course, in the lefty states where they don't want to help right now. So is that what we're going to do? It was Pramila Jayapal, the Democrat progressive from Washington or any other kind, who was shaking her head when the reporter's like, how are you going to deal with criminal illegals if we defund ICE? And then you have Thanadar from, I don't know where he's from, the representative. I think it's from, is it Michigan? Maybe. Who's like, yeah, we're going to put out a bill there to abolish them. Okay. No, that's where we are. It's a crazy world we live in. What else we got going on? All right, this is what I want to know. I want to know why this didn't happen sooner. Why it is that only because of President Trump are we able to have whole milk, Healthy Kids Act in schools. You know, it's something that I think the two of us together, myself along with the Agriculture Commissioner Wilton Simpson, have talked about in the past. Why is it? How is this even possible? How is it that kids are not drinking whole milk? I can't believe it. So when I saw that, I was like, boy, I hope he calls. And here you are. It's great to see you. How are you?
Great. The whole milk question, is that where we are? So, under Obama, Michelle Obama, I think, did a major initiative to remove whole milk from schools. And I think, I'm forgetting if it was under or if it was under executive order from.
I think I'm having a hard time with your cell phone, sir. I don't know what it is. Let's see if you can hear me. Let's see. D, have him call back on the other line. The hotline. Have him call on the other line right now, and we'll see if we can get that back up, because that sounded really bad. Almost like there's a Verizon outage or something across the country. Oh, there is. Something's going on with Verizon, by the way. I don't know if you know this, but I guess we can let you know. Here it is. Verizon. It's trending all over social media. And so apparently they're working to fix this service issue. It says impacting some customers. The last time I checked, it looks like it's impacting a ton of people all across the country. But anyway, all right, back to Agriculture Commissioner Wilton Simpson. Hopefully we can hear him right now. All right, so yeah, let's talk about that just for a second, the whole milk issue there.
Sure. No. Whole milk, back under the Obama administration, I don't know if he did an executive order or how it came about, but all of our school-age kids was then stuck with drinking skim milk, right. And which is really a big deal. And most of those kids will not drink that milk. And I think it was one of those kicks where we said we're going to have kids, we're going to control what they drink, and it'll help them with obesity and other things that they were trying to tout at the time. And so President Trump comes in and with an executive order reverses that and allows us to put whole milk back in schools. So whole milk is much more healthy. For children and school-age kids. And I think, what happens is we try to take the recess away from them, their PE away from them. We take all of the things where they get outside and they run and they play a little bit and, they have all this energy built up, and then we blame it on, or the left blames it on all of these other, things that they want to fix anyways. And so we're real proud that President Trump put this back in the schools. And number 2 and 3 of that is it ties right in with our Farmers Feeding Florida program here in Florida we did last year, where now during the summertime when schools are out, a lot of those children and families are food insecure. We now, the Department of Agriculture, are buying that milk, a substantial amount of it, and putting it through the Feeding Florida program and giving it to families that are food insecure. So not only now do children have healthier food and healthier, in this case, milk, in their school system, but we also give it to them when school's not in. through the distribution system of Feeding Florida.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's not like for centuries children were drinking whole milk. I mean, if that were the case, it'd be crazy. But anyway, I digress. Hey, let's talk about the 2026 Florida Farm Bill. What can you give us an update on what's happening with that?
You know, we were very fortunate today that it passed another committee stop in the Senate.
Yep.
The Senate, we posted that earlier today. And so Senator True now is the chair of the Ag Committee. I believe it was in front of Fiscal Policy today where they announced that it passed. We did add a few things to the bill. There's many things in there. The program I was just speaking of, the Farmers Feeding Florida program, we're making permanent in this year's Farm Bill. We're making sure that our first responders do not get we're making it a crime for them if someone tries to use equipment on them, a jammer equipment, to jam their signals in and out. Like if somebody's robbing a bank or somebody's robbing your home and they use a jamming signal.
Right.
Today, they can do that. We're making that illegal. We're doing a lot of things in there. One of the things we added today, which is going to be very interesting, I know everyone, or a lot of people that we hear about is concerned about growth. We added an amendment today that said if you're these small communities, especially small towns, less than 2,500 acres, less than, I forget the number of people, maybe 2,000 people or so, or 5,000 people. If your future land use is designated as green space, that you cannot have a developer come in and buy that property and then basically take over the town and get whatever they want. We're saying if you've got a designation of green space, that it will remain that way. The maximum density, I think, is one house per 20 acres, I believe is what was in the bill. So we're doing things in the Farm Bill, not only to protect our consumers, protect farmers, but we're also trying to protect our land use around the state, especially obviously in these small communities.
Yeah. And one other thing before we go, a couple of things. First of all, the Moffitt Cancer Center is Spiral's outpatient center is quite a big deal. And I wanted you to tell everybody a little bit about it because it really is special.
It is very special, Drew. And when I was in the Senate 6, 7, 8 years ago, we were dreaming, how do we get to a cure of cancer? How do we bring that type of treatment here to the state of Florida? Moffitt Cancer Center, which was founded in the, I believe, the late 80s by Lee Moffitt. He was the Speaker of the House at the time, had started that campus in Tampa, and they've grown substantially since then. And we're looking at ways, how do we take it to the next level? How do we become a world leader in cancer research and cancer treatment? And, we said, look, we need, 700,000 acre campus so that we can continue to grow into that footprint and bring all the different biopharmaceutical companies, radiopharmaceutical companies to our state so that we can develop and engineer a system of, solving cancer and curing cancer. And so that we just cut the ribbon on that about a week ago here. It's in west central Pasco County, right off the Suncoast Parkway. So, obviously everyone in our area, in the Tampa Bay area, will have great access, but anyone in the state of Florida can come over to this facility. Anybody in the world is going to fly into Tampa International. They're going to, drive a 25-minute drive up here to this facility. This is going to really change a lot of lives. We're very proud it's open. They're going to continue to open more facets over this coming year. And we're really excited about this. And what I said at the ribbon cutting is all of the parents that are going to get to see their children grow up, all of the grandparents that are going to get to see children and grandchildren, live a much healthier and successful life because of the cures that we're bringing. And the Moffitt Cancer Treatment, one of the best teams anywhere in the world. With this expansion now, this is going to put Florida as a leading state in the nation for not only cancer treatment, but cancer research. And we're really proud of that.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. And one other thing quickly before we go, I know today it's going to be chilly, upper 20s or mid 20s in North and Central Florida. And people are asking me or were saying things about citrus, concerned about that. I just didn't know. Obviously, we're preparing for it, but everything will be okay with the crops. We get a head start. We know what to expect, and what about that?
Yes, we do know what to expect. And, nowadays, in the old days, we used smudge pots. And you go back there, you put diesel in pots and you lit it up and it kept warm in the areas. And then you use overhead irrigation to do these things. Now we have spray irrigation, or we call it a drip irrigation, but you have a spray nozzle right there on the tree. So if it gets below 32 degrees for a certain amount of time, then we'll put water on them. That water will cover that tree. It'll turn to ice. And then it'll protect that tree from temperatures under 32 degrees, that sheet of ice will. So you'll have farmers doing their calculations. You'll have people staying up all night, making sure that the irrigation systems are working properly. And you'll start to see that happen when it's going to be below 32 degrees, depending on the crop, for more than just a few hours. So depending on temperatures, again, farmers will be out. They'll be monitoring in their field, not just the general area, but because it can be 32 in the area, but you can have certain fields in mid-20s. In those fields, you'll see those irrigation systems running to protect those crops. And we're much more efficient at protecting crops now because most of us do not use that overhead spraying where we're wasting a lot of water. Through the BMP management program of agriculture, we use a lot more sophisticated systems that's directing the water where we need it, keeping that plant warm and alive, and the fruit on that plant in this case. And so, we'll be up all night in the next couple of nights to make sure that we protect our agriculture here in the state of Florida.
Absolutely. All right, sir. Always great to speak with you. All the best. God bless. We'll see you soon, okay?
Hey, God bless.
All right. That is Florida's Agriculture Commissioner Wilton Simpson joining us on Florida's Voice. Always appreciate a visit. By the way, 866-588-8303 is the... Oh, look at this, everybody. We've got a TDS update.
If you're crazy and you know it sounds like this.
Donald Trump and his extremist allies.
If you're crazy and you know it sounds like this.
We are indifferent to his erratic behavior.
If you're crazy and you know it, let your Trump derangement show it. If you're crazy and you know it sounds like this.
Well, I'm not listening to you.
Okay. I'm not really sure if... Sorry, I just think that ending is funny. I'm not really sure if this is a TDS update. I guess it kind of is. So it's a TDS update /D. How many times have I said this? I told you so. I told you so. I told you so. I told you so. Oh, man. I hate to be the I told you so guy, but today I already said it, so it's too late. Buckle up. So the state of Texas has closed primaries, and Texas Governor Greg Abbott is fighting the Texas GOP in court to ensure that Democrats won't vote in the Wait, what? Won't vote in the primaries? Are you telling me there's an example of... It's not really TDS, but I just had to play the song. How many times have I said this? They're on social media, D. Listen.
Just register Republican. Just register Republican. You're a blue dot in a red area. Just register Republican. Then you get a say in who gets to be their primary candidate. Register Republican. Just register Republican. It doesn't matter. You can go online. That little card doesn't make a difference. It doesn't actually mean anything. You can just register Republican. Let's all just register Republican. We can all register Republican. What will happen if the Republican Party and the MAGA Party all starts getting crazy leftist LGBTQ folk and we can all just register Republican?
It goes on for another 30 seconds, D. What did I tell you? What did I say? Close primary states or any place else. What did I say about the crazy leftists and what they would do? Just register Republican. The card doesn't matter. It means nothing. Just do it to get leftists elected, where people are going to think that they're or whatever, that they're going to help to get people elected, and they're going to have someone who's going to run, for example, as a Republican that is nowhere near a Republican. They're going to let everybody know that they're not really a Republican. And then you get the leftists who all register Republican in the primary to vote for the candidate that isn't a Republican to get them into office. D, how many times? Give me the number.
That's some evil, evil stuff.
It is evil. Is that how many times have I said that this is going to happen? Is it greater than 100 since we've been together?
I don't know if it's that high.
Okay, it's pretty high. I told you. You think I'm nuts. You think I'm crazy. Well, I'm not talking about the people that I get messages from. I'm talking about when I say things like this. This is what they're thinking. This is what they're doing. And there they are again, by the way, the lefty white women. Here we go again. What's going on? I'm just saying it's an odd thing. 2026. But that was a little, and it got worse. You know, somebody might say that was a little cray-cray. The way she was reacting. Like, you need a hobby. Maybe a puppy. Get a puppy. She just, I don't know. Anyway, it is what it is. But these are the things that we've got to look out for. Democrats doing the things that they do. What do I want to? Yeah, I could play this one right now. Well, he was on Fox News. Don't fall in love with the first Democrat who says something you like. But here's John Fetterman, who's on the Senate Agriculture, Nutrition, and Forestry Committee. Sorry. I don't know why I thought that was funny. Because I don't picture John Fetterman as a nutrition guy or a forestry guy. Maybe he is. But here he was on Fox, basically blasting Democrats.
I mean, it's disappointing, honestly. I mean, I was fully supportive of Israel through that.
Talking about Iran and doing anything and everything we can, as the president said, hey, listen, we probably are going to be stepping up. We're watching Iran. We're seeing the things that are going on. There's been like 2,000 plus people now who have died in some of the uprisings that have taken place by the government, and we're keeping an eye on it, and we might step up a little bit of the regime change idea. And Fetterman's like...
And then that really kind of isolated me within my party now. And then I was calling, we have to destroy these nuclear facilities. If Iran acquires that nuclear bomb, that changes a much, much, much dramatic there. And now Iran's making these kinds of threat. I mean, remember also Israel, they created air supremacy within 2 days. Iran really's capabilities are severely limited at this point. And now they're in a death spiral with all these protests. Why wouldn't want to be ready to provide the kind of a bump to push it, to finally break this regime?
There you go, the little bump. We got to hit him with the bump to kind of do something about this regime. So, as the Chiron says, the people of Iran remain defiant in the face of this brutal regime crackdown, and you've got Senator John Fetterman, who's like, why, Democrats, why wouldn't you want to be ready to provide a bump to break the Iranian regime? They're so desperate, by the way, they're executing thousands of their own citizens, and that has isolated him in the party. It's interesting, right? I mean, the isolation in the party stuff. John Fetterman. Who saw that coming? In, what was that? Was it 20? When did it? Was Fetterman a 20? He was a 22 guy, wasn't he? I think elected in 22, or was it 20? Oh, wow, it feels so long ago. Maybe it was 2020. 2022? I don't know. Doesn't matter, because I hear the music. We got to go to break. When we come back, we will have top of the news from the Florida's Voice newsroom. We'll see what's going on there. And anytime you want to call 866-588-8303, we are live Monday through Friday, 3 to 6 p.m. right here. It's Florida's Voice.
You're listening to Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.
I'm Chris Jakimick. I served in the United States Air Force, and I deployed 3 times. Being a veteran, it's interwoven into your DNA, is really the absence of the connection and the purpose that can really drive a lot of veterans to some negative thoughts. For those who are in a suicidal crisis, the window of time to save somebody's life is very short. Our duty is to protect ourselves and protect our families, and one way you can do that is store your weapons safely. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
Hey, it's Drew Steele, and I have to tell you, when my wife and I talked about getting new kitchen countertops for our house, we know who to call. Rock Solid Countertops and More, 2240 JNC Boulevard in Naples. and they have been absolutely amazing. Hugo and the team are the best. The workmanship has been absolutely incredible. The install was so easy. The process was perfect. Taking everything out, bringing the new stuff in. The quartz countertop is unbelievably beautiful, and my wife is super happy, I'll tell you. You know they have the best quality and selection of marble, quartz, granite, and a one-stop shop for all of your kitchen, outdoor, and bathroom needs. I've known it for years. I've lived in Southwest Florida 40 years. There was really only one place I was going to go. It's rock-solid countertops and more. I would suggest you give them a call, 596-7676. They're at 2240 JNC Boulevard in Naples. Find out what they can do for you. Countertops, cabinets, plantation shutters, they do it all. Rock solid countertops and more.
Let's see, if something costs less, a lot less, but people are actually happier with it, that sounds like something to look into. And that's MetaShare. Maybe you've heard joining MetaShare can save you or your family up to $500 a month, and that's huge, but it's also true. People are just happier with it. They love being part of something that reflects and promotes their values and what they believe in. MetaShare works, too. It's been around for 30 years now, and members have shared more than $7 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network, so yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care, whether you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan that you're happy with. Here you go. You can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. It's 855-SHARE-40. 855-SHARE 40. 855-SHARE-40. 855-SHARE-40.
Since the dawn of time, man and wildlife have shared a connection, and hunting traditions passed down from generation to generation have connected man to the natural world, from bow and arrow to hook and bullet. As man evolved, our link to those traditions remain with them forever. Yet today, our basic instinct to provide and as part of the hunt to conserve and appreciate the natural world has fallen under attack for the first time in human history. The misguided politicians and radical activists pushing an agenda to end hunting as we know it, or leading a war against our heritage and their misguided policies and protests. They demonize hunters and belittle our way of life, the results of hunters leaving the sport in droves, while our wildlife and ecosystems suffer the consequences as conservation funding dries up. Named after the father of the North American model for wildlife conservation, the International Order of T. Roosevelt is fighting in the arena to protect and expand the rights of hunters everywhere. We will fight back against these forces to make sure that every American has a right to hunt, enshrined in their state constitutions. We will educate the next generation in our traditions and seek to expand accessibility so that everyone can enjoy our pastimes. And we will continue to hold true to our namesake's efforts to protect, preserve, and ensure open access to our nation's wild lands. Teddy Roosevelt's vision for American conservation defines our modern hunting and conservation system, a system upheld by the idea that conservation efforts are crucial to our hunting way of life, and that hunters are crucial to successful conservation.
To some, the sound of a baby babbling doesn't mean much, but that's not true. They're testing out vowels and consonants and trying different sounds. And by 12 months, their babbling is beginning to take on meaning, especially if there's no babbling at all. Little to no babbling by 12 months or later is just one of the possible signs of autism in children. Learn more at autismspeaks.org.
Hey, it's Drew Steele. Look, are you still playing defense with your money? It's time to shift gears and seize the fresh opportunities this new pro-business environment has to offer. That's exactly what certified financial planner professional Alfie Townsend and the team at Advantage Retirement Group do for high net worth investors like you, helping you go on the offense with advanced tax strategies, thoughtful risk management, and forward-thinking financial planning. Imagine enjoying the retirement lifestyle you've worked so hard to achieve, all while staying one step ahead and in a changing world. You've gotta do it. Alfie and his team designed personalized strategies to strengthen your financial foundation so you can focus on living life on your terms. Ready to find out more? Text VISIT to 239-747-7470. Again, you can call or text 239-747-7470. Schedule your one-on-one consultation today and see how a proactive approach can help you thrive no matter what the market does next. Don't wait. Call or text VISIT to 239-747-7470 right now.
Now, back to Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.
Yeah, just a reminder, Strata Air Conditioning, I can't even speak. Strata Air Conditioning and Heating, they are here when you need them most. Anytime you want to get in touch with them, strataac.com. Maybe you just need a Strata AC tune-up to get that unit of your... I can't even speak. Hello? Get that unit of yours running efficiently, because the air conditioning, it's important that you have it, especially the heating part, being that it's going to be freezing overnight tonight, and that's the truth. Or maybe you need a brand new unit because yours is 10 years old or older. I get it. Reach out to them. They are committed to 5-star customer service. Find out about them across the state of Florida. StrataAC.com. That's STRADAAC.com. You ought to call Strata. License number CACO 43953. All right, top of the news from the Florida's Voice newsroom.
Top of the news, Florida's headlines.
Now. All right, for the last time today, AP Anita Padilla is in the Florida's Voice newsroom. She's got the latest.
Hey, Drew, topping the news right now, Republican gubernatorial candidate Paul Renner is unveiling a public safety plan that he says is aimed at ending child sex trafficking in Florida. He held a press conference today in Tampa calling human trafficking modern-day slavery, and said that the state must go beyond disruption and actually shut down these networks. His plan calls for tougher penalties for traffickers, expanded laws to cover online crimes, more funding for law enforcement, and greater support for victims. He also proposed stronger protections for children online, including safeguards against those AI-driven cases where we see so much exploitation. Republican congressional candidate Catalina Loft says her campaign is off to a strong fundraising start in Southwest Florida. Loft reports raising more than $430,000 in her first quarter, with more than 80% of it coming from small dollar donations. When combined with allied super PACs, total support for her campaign in Florida's 19th district now nears $1.3 million. Loft, a former Trump administration official, is running to succeed Congressman Byron Donalds, who is seeking the governor's office. Well, the State Department putting a hold on immigrant visa processing for dozens of countries as it reviews how applicants are screened. Starting January 21st, consular officers are going to temporarily stop issuing visas while officials apply stricter standards under federal public charge rules. Now, this change could have an outsized impact here in Florida. That's because here in Florida, there are strong historical and family ties to countries like Cuba and Haiti. Both are included in that pause. State Department officials say the hold is going to stay in place until the review is complete, with only very limited exceptions. All right, that does it for us for now. Make sure that you're following us on all of our social media platforms, X, Instagram, Facebook. That's where we keep you updated every day with everything you need to know about politics in Tallahassee and in Washington, D.C. All right, I'm Anita Padilla, the news director here for Florida's Voice. Drew, back over to you.
All right, AP, we appreciate you there in the Florida's Voice newsroom. Once again, you want to check out the stories they're working on. It's simple. You just go to flvoicenews.com. Florida's Voice, it is the website. All right, I know you're going to find this hard to believe, but Bill and Hillary Clinton had subpoenas to testify. They didn't show up. I know it sounds crazy, right? So here you had months and months and months and months. Previous dates, Bill and Hillary were supposed to be there. The House Oversight Committee is like, hey, we got some questions about the Jeffrey Epstein stuff. You don't mind showing up? Oh, no, we'll show up. Okay. And then they missed all these previous dates. Well, Bill Clinton yesterday missed the rescheduled appearance slated for the 13th. And then today... how about Hills? What did she end up doing? And so Hillary Clinton didn't show up either. Here's Representative James Comer, the head of the House Oversight Committee, who was like...
Well, here we are again.
Yeah.
I don't think it's any secret. former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton joined her husband in defying a bipartisan lawful congressional subpoena?
I know why. Because they're Democrats, and they can do that because nobody's going to do anything about it. No perp walking, no slap on the wrist. I mean, literally or figuratively, nothing is going to happen because they're Democrats. They're better than you.
To show up today, I think what's most disappointing to the Oversight Committee is the fact that we have, in good faith, negotiated with the Clintons' attorneys.
Wait a second. Did you just say that you were acting in good faith with the Clintons and their attorneys? That's funny. Wait, you're trying to act in good faith with people, one in particular, who, along with the DNC, created the Trump-Russia collusion hoax to try to make it so that Donald Trump could not be the president of the United States? You mean that kind of good faith person?
Every time I think about Trump, I get allergic.
I know. I bet you do.
For 5 months, throughout the past 5 months, they've implied to us they were trying to make a date work. In fact, the last date we had, they notified us 3 days beforehand, said that they would love to come, but they have a funeral to attend.
Somebody died. Dog ate the homework. Okay. So Hillary Clinton's like, yeah, I can't show up. Bill's like, sorry about that. And then, by the way, the lawyers put out this statement yesterday, and I got to see if I can read it. It's really hard to see. Bill Clinton. Now, remember, this is about Bill Clinton, Jeffrey Epstein. You've seen lots of pictures. I don't want to see any more. We hear a lot of about how many times he was on the Lolita Express. All of these different things. We just want some answers. Just show up. It's pretty simple. I didn't do anything wrong. Okay, at least you showed up. At least you're not defying a subpoena, which is a really weird thing. Unless, of course, if you did that, you would be lying, and then we had other questions, and maybe. But the point is, so on his X account, he writes this, and I want to see if you can see it. There it is. He says, "This is not about right or left. It's about right and wrong." Huh. Okay. So what's the wrong part? I guess is what I'm asking. And I'm trying to read this, but it's really difficult. And let me just put it this way. Bill Clinton, along with his lawyers, put out this 2-page letter signed by Bill and Hillary to basically say, listen, the Trump administration, no, I'm not kidding. That's where they went. Part of it was, I guess they said, every person has to decide when they have seen or had enough and are ready to fight for this country, the principles and its people, no matter the consequences. For us, now is the time. Wait, you're talking about fighting against the House and President Trump? It wasn't. What about the Epstein thing? So there's nothing in there about that. It's all about fighting against what has been a corrupt blah, 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 blah. Like it. Did you really do that? Well, of course you did, because you're Democrats. You get away with it. And it's the Clintons. So they especially get away with things. It's pretty amazing, the things that... What? Wait, who's calling?
Hey, Drew,
Yeah.
first-time caller, long-time listener.
Hey, it's Bill.
That's right. Bill listens a little bit too much to this type of radio.
Oh, and Hillary.
Hillary, be quiet.
Don't tell me to be quiet.
Al. Hey.
Yeah, hey.
We're on the radio, Hillary.
What difference does that make?
Oh, my God. Anyway, hey. So, you're in...
Florida. We're in Florida, sir.
Yes, that's a great, very nice city. In
Florida, Bill.
I know it's in Florida. Hey, that's where Disneyland is.
Disney World.
We're not really doing this, are we?
Disney World is a great place, and I hope that you can go on that the Dumbo ride.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is.
Bill, why do you...
Hey. Anyway, good talking to you, and let's keep the peace.
What?
Hillary, I'm just ending the interview.
We are ending the interview. All right, anyway, moving on. All right, 866-588-8303. Sorry, that was a little weird. Anyway, All right, what else do we have going? There's a lot of weird out there today. Why don't we get into a little of the weird, thanks to the left, when it comes to ICE? Yeah, can we talk about this? Many people, including Western Lensman on X, who does a fantastic job, great follow, Western Lensman, had a clip of Ilhan Omar, who was talking about ICE. You know how the progressives now, Ilhan Omar and others, want to abolish ICE as a bill to abolish them, and they want to defund them, get rid of them in any way, shape, or form. How are we going to enforce immigration laws? What are we going to do with that? Oh no, we'll have state law enforcement. Wait a minute, the state law enforcement that the lefty governors won't allow to help with said ICE and the immigration enforcement? What are you talking about? Okay, anyway, so here she is on the left-hand side of the screen explaining why we need to get ICE agents off the streets. And on the right side is what Bill Melugin provided, and I'll explain what he provided in just a second. But first, just listen to her.
They have not been able to tell us what is the purpose for this search. They haven't been able to produce any evidence that they are finding people who are undocumented, who have committed crimes. Almost every single person that they have information and shared information with us has been someone that has already been adjudicated and was already in prison. And so there's no way to justify what they are doing.
There's no way to justify what they're doing, everybody, according to Ilhan Omar. Now, on the right-hand side of the screen, if you're watching at FL Voice News on YouTube, Rumble, X, and Facebook, you see it. If you're not, let me read what Bill Melugin, who is with Fox News, who put out on his X account that ICE has provided Fox a list of the most egregious criminal aliens they've arrested during their surge in the sanctuary state of Minnesota, and it's the most disturbing list I've ever seen, he said, including, and I'm not going to repeat it because we're on the radio and it's a family show, and I'm not doing it. By the way, you can see the pictures of the individuals as well. So when Ilhan Omar says, I don't know what they're doing here. I don't even know why we need ICE. I don't know what's going on. They haven't been able to produce any evidence that they're finding people who are undocumented. You mean here in the country illegally? I'm not using the undocumented, but that's what she said, who have committed crimes. Until you have a reality check that smacks you right in the face. I wish I had a smack sound effect. That would be fun. Hey, D, can you find me a smack sound effect someplace? Is that possible? Like a whack. Like you can hear like...
Just take it from when you just heard Hillary smacking Bill.
Oh, that's true. Now I got to look that up. Anyway, the reality check that smacks you in the face is Bill Melugin, who gives you a full list of some of the most egregious crimes committed by illegals in this country that they took off the streets in Minnesota. So disturbing, I can't even repeat it on the radio. But you keep doing you. Yeah, that's... and then, of course, the pièce de résistance, if you will, from earlier, and we played this before, where you have progressive lawmakers on the defunding of ICE after the shooting that took place in Minnesota when a reporter asked a question you're not allowed to ask.
Look, the law...
So if you propose defunding ICE, then how would you deal specifically with illegal immigrants who do have criminal backgrounds in the U.S.?
Yeah, how would you deal with them? Oh, we wouldn't, because they don't exist, because it's not true, because there are no people that are here in the country illegally that have criminal backgrounds. None, not a one. Well, I mean, there's some. Well, there seems to be a lot. Well, anyway, you have any other questions? That's how it went down. And like I said, Pramila Jayapal, Democrat of Washington, just shaking her head like, you're not allowed to ask these questions. Didn't you get your lefty card when you joined the press? Come on now. All right. By the way, there's a new gate. You know, remember we had, there was Russia Gate. There were all kinds of different gates. And then there were the ridiculous gates. I guess there's Middle Finger Gate now. D, have you heard about Fingergate? From the
no.
Yeah, okay. The President of the United States. It's the new one. I guess somebody heckled him at the Ford plant yesterday. So he had something to say, and then he used one of his fingers the proper finger to say something to somebody improperly. And it's like you would imagine that, I know, it's the latest of the gates that the left has. If you don't know the story, I'll explain. Well, I just did. But I have to play what the Democrats were talking about with regard to this on some of the lefty media outlets. Always fun. So we'll have that coming up. My name is Drew Steele. It's Florida's Voice.
You're listening to Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says.
Avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, honey bear.
Because remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
All right, son. Time to put out this campfire.
Dad, we learned about this in school.
Oh, did you now? Okay. What's first?
Smokey Bear said to.
First drown it with a bucket of water, then stir it with a shovel.
Wow, you sound just like him.
Then he said.
If it's still warm, then do it again.
Where can I learn all this?
It's all on SmokeyBear.com with other wildfire prevention tips, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
You know, a lot of times you have to choose between something high quality or something that saves you money. But if you could get both, why not? Especially when it comes to healthcare, and that is MediShare. You get both. Many families save $500 a month with MediShare, and that's huge. But it's also true that people wind up way more satisfied, too. The member satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. That's because MediShare works. It has for more than 30 years. It's a community of Christians who have shared more than $5 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth. They love the huge PPO network. So, yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price in 2 minutes. Here's the number. Just call 855-SHARE-40. That's 855-SHARE-40. 855-SHARE-40.
Hey, it's Drew Steele. Look, if you're looking to take advantage of today's pro-business environment and strengthen your financial future, certified financial planner professional Alfie Townsend and his team at Advantage Retirement Group have got you covered. They specialize in advanced tax strategies, risk management, and retirement planning, all aimed at helping high net worth investors like you thrive. Now, Alfie wants to share those insights with you with his book, Keeping You on the Retirement Fairway. It's packed with practical tips and forward-thinking strategies to help you make the most out of your hard-earned wealth. Ready to get your free copy? Text BOOK to 239-747-7470. That's 239-747-7470. Don't wait. Learn how to capitalize on that pro-business opportunities that are out there right now and secure the confident retirement you deserve. Once again, text BOOK to 239-747-7470 right now, and let Alfie Townsend and Advantage Retirement Group help guide you toward a stronger, more confident financial future.
We're with Bridget, whose husband won't be home for months and whose daughter is due any day. We're with Mike, who's leaving home to protect his family and yours. We're with all service members and their families who need community, connection, and maybe a bit of magic. Are you with them? Learn more at USO.org today. We're with Liam after his 4th military move, when being new is starting to get old. We're with Tara during the holidays, when she misses home the most. We're with all service members and their families who need connection, comfort, and a home away from home. Are you with them? Learn more at USO.org today.
Now, back to Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.
All right, I like these. These are important. These are important public service announcements for everybody who has no idea about Gen Z slang. Do you like when somebody does this? Like when they translate the slang that the kids are using and you're like, I don't know what this kid's saying. And it's like, oh, wait, let me
Yes, because I don't know half the things they're saying these days.
All right, so you ready? I got one. So I've got this guy who's a content creator, and he posted a video translating all the latest Gen Z slang so that we would all understand it. You ready? Here we go.
Ohio is weird, bogus.
Ohio. So that means you're weird or it's bogus? That's Ohio. Okay.
Activity is random, is off the wall. Riz is swag, is game. Rizzler is player, is Mac Daddy. No cap is no lie, for real. Sus is shady, sketchy. Gyat is dump truck, booty. Caught in 4K is exposed, busted. Meat riding is simping, brown nosing. Pressed is butthurt, bent out of shape. Bussin' is bomb, dope.
Got it? Any of that resonate?
All of that is stupid.
Well, you're not supposed to. No, because when you were younger, you had words that your parents and grandparents had no idea why you were saying things like that, right? Don't you know? Weren't there some words that you could say like Riz, stuff like that? Like you had your own version of Riz when you were growing up, right?
I don't know.
You don't know. This is so disinteresting to D. Like he's completely checked out, and I don't blame him because we can't get that 3 minutes back. Sorry. All right, I thought it was going to be informative, and instead it was annoying. It happens. So the president of the United States is at the Ford plant yesterday. Somebody was calling him I think they called him some really awful name. And so the president, while he's being heckled by one of the employees, what a brave soul, there at the Ford plant. So he basically mouthed you and flipped him the bird. And a lot of people are like, oh no. And a lot of people are like, that's what I'm talking about. That's my president right there. That's right. You're just going to, while somebody is harassing you and they're heckling you, you're just going to be like, what? And there are some people that are like, you just walk away. You be presidential. Okay, well, he's also a human being. And he doesn't like that. And that's just Trump being Trump. I know some of you still don't get that. Like it is, the man has been on the political stage now for 10 years, and you still haven't figured him out? Like, seriously. Anyway, so this is the big gate now, the latest. Yeah, I know, exactly. You know, like there's Russia Gate, and then there was some other ridiculous gate that was out there recently, and now this is Fingergate. Well, as far as that's concerned, they were talking about it today, this morning. They were talking about it on MS Now. They're so progressive. No, seriously, they are. And it was a TMZ video that they said that shows the president flipping off a heckler in Detroit. How dare he do this? And then, of course, you know, they're bashing the president. But here's the problem. Where we have fun with it and it's like, calm down. It's the bigger story. Because then it went from the president doing that to, go ahead, play it.
Would you support impeachment if Democrats take back the House? Because on the list of criminals and offenses, if many of the things we've seen over the last year from the president are not impeachable offenses, I'm unsure about what is.
Yes, I do. And look, I know people say, oh, it's a distraction. That's what they said about Epstein when I started. Oh, it's a distraction. Let's talk about the cost of rent.
Yeah, so just in case you're wondering, just from that moment where the president flipped off a heckler at the Ford plant, it pivoted to, if you get power back, we're going to spend the time in trying to impeach the president, right? Be ready for it.
You're listening to Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.
It's 4 a.m., Monday, and you're literally sucking baby snot through a tube because she's congested. Man, that's love. And if you love her that much, love her enough to make sure she's buckled in the right car seat. To make sure your child's in the right seat for their age and size, visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Show them you love them. Keep them safe. Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council. You let him try violin because you love him. And if you love him that much, love him enough to make sure he's buckled up and in the back seat. Find out more at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Talk to your kid about vaping. Visit talkaboutvaping.org.
You're listening to Florida's Voice with Drew Steele. Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.
Congratulations on your show.
Congratulations on your new show. Big deal, huh?
That's why shows like yours are so important. We have an independent county elected sheriff that's the head of law enforcement in Jacksonville/Duval County. And I know how to work toward making this city safe.
We can't be shy about speaking on things such as faith and politics. We have to remember, in a free society, the public square belongs to all of us.
I'm not interested in North Florida looking like Orlando or Miami. I love where we live, but I think that good jobs means that people that live in this district can stay in this district.
Fishing and hunting is funding a large part of your conservation projects in Florida, and we want to make sure that those are forever preserved.
And the problem with this industry at this point is that they actually target our youth. You can see it in their marketing strategies, where it's bright colors, fun names.
And that's going to be endlessly litigated.
Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.
Hey, it's Drew Steele. Look, are you still playing defense with your money? Now might be the perfect time to go on offense and seize the opportunities presented by the new pro-business environment ushered in by President Trump and his administration. That's exactly what certified financial planner professional Alfie Townsend and his team at Advantage Retirement Group do for high net worth investors like you. They create strategies designed to help manage taxes, control risks, and boost your financial confidence. It's a forward-thinking approach that can strengthen your foundation so you can enjoy the lifestyle you've worked so hard to achieve. If you're ready to see how Alfie's team can help elevate your plan, call or text VISIT to 239-747-7470. Again, text VISIT to 239-747-7470. Schedule your one-on-one consultation today and discover proactive strategies to help you thrive in an ever-changing world. Again, text VISIT to 239-747-7470. Don't wait. Let Alfie Townsend and the Advantage Retirement Group team guide you toward a stronger, more confident financial future.
I've been dipping snuff for well over 30 years. You know, I could wake up in the morning and have a weird lump in my gums. Guess it's like playing Russian roulette, really. I would love grandchildren. And if by quitting it extends my life some, I would gladly lay it down.
Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com to find free resources to help you quit your way.
Today, push harder, push forward, push vigorously.
There are things that I am hiding from people that I'm trying to inspire.
You can do whatever you set your mind to.
I feel like a hypocrite a lot of the times.
Don't give up on yourself ever.
Smoking, I hide it because I'm ashamed of it. I want to get out of the shadow. I want to show people there is light away from the darkness. I am going to quit.
Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com to find free resources to help you quit your way.
We're with Bridget, whose husband won't be home for months and whose daughter is due any day. We're with Mike, who's leaving home to protect his family and yours. We're with all service members and their families who need community, connection, and maybe a bit of magic. Are you with them? Learn more at USO.org today. We're with Liam after his 4th military move, when being new is starting to get old. We're with Tara during the holidays, when she misses home the most. We're with all service members and their families who need connection, comfort, and a home away from home. Are you with them? Learn more at USO.org today.
Hey, it's Drew Steele, and you know I love the Floor Meisters in Naples. Locally family-owned business, 3 generations of Meisters. Listen, what are you looking for? Carpet, tile, hardwood, Core-Tech? Maybe that's what you're looking for. And why don't we talk to TJ Meister right now of the Floor Meisters and find out what's going on with Core-Tech. What's up, TJ?
Well, we're just keeping up with the demand for Core-Tech. Just had to order a truck and bring it in from the West Coast of the United States to keep up with all the needs and wants of the people of Southwest Florida. Somebody doesn't have it, give me a call. I probably do.
I tell you, I love my Core-Tech floor. People love it. What is it about it that makes it so awesome?
Well, it's waterproof, kid-proof, pet-proof. So if you got a pool, no problem. If you got a dog, no problem. If you got a husband that spills, no problem.
Floor Meisters, that's who I trust, and you should as well. 6281 Naples Boulevard in Naples. 239-596-4964 for the Floor Meisters.
Let's see, if something costs less, a lot less, but people are actually happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's MetaShare. Maybe you've heard joining MetaShare can save you or your family up to $500 a month, and that's huge, but it's also true. People are just happier with it. They love being part of something that reflects and promotes their values and what they believe in. MetaShare works, too. It's been around for 30 years now, and members have shared more than $7 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network, so yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care, whether you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan that you're happy with. Here you go. You can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. It's 855-SHARE-40. 855-SHARE-40. 855-SHARE-40.
Thank you for waking us all up out here, for all you do.
Thank you for giving us the voice.
For being out there helping keep the constitutional republic. I want to thank you for
your support for veterans in the military.
Educating us.
Standing up for conservatism.
Giving us the truth.
Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.
Well, hey, everybody. So glad you're joining us today on Florida's Voice. Look at me. My name is Drew Steele. Look at him. That's Big D over there on the other side of the glass. Don't look at Nina because she doesn't... well, she's not there. That's why you don't look at her. Where is she? Where'd she go, D? She's not in the room there.
She's running around somewhere.
All right. I pointed at her. And anyway, we're all here at FL Voice News on YouTube, Rumble, X, Facebook, and Insta, like the kids like to say. Fact-checking DeSantis's final State of the State speech. Now, I know you're probably sitting there saying, wait a second. Is this some kind of lefty publication like the Tampa Bay Times that would do a fact check for us to make sure that Ron DeSantis and his State of the State address was legit yesterday? Yeah, they did it. So we're going to have a little bit of fun with this. I can only imagine how fun it's going to be because, well, it's the Tampa Bay Times, and so they're probably they're just looking to fact check. I don't know. So, D, are you ready? We're going to play that game coming up in just a little bit. Fact-checking DeSantis.
I'll do my best.
You will do your best. I demand it. I only demand the best. All right, moving on. You know, speaking of the best, Tommy Aiello, he's a good guy. Senior Director of Government Affairs at National Taxpayers Union, NTU. And he's joining us right now on Florida's Voice because there's a couple of things I wanted to ask about as we get into 2026. I feel like it was almost last year that I saw you, Tommy. See what I did there? A little like, okay, sorry.
Well, I love the intro. Thanks. I wish everyone would introduce me the way you do.
No, I'm just, sometimes I'm an idiot, Tommy. That's just the way it is.
Oh, I don't believe that.
Anyway, always great to see you. So, you know, some people call it OBA, not to be confused with ABBA, the band, the One Big Beautiful Bill, OBBA. And, you know, people are asking, and they are trying to figure out, you know, when is this going to happen? Are we going to see these massive tax benefits, you know, from the One Big Beautiful Bill? I mean, I know a lot has been announced and some people are just like, yeah, I want to see it tangibly. I think they do in some ways. But in the meantime, like as it's been passed right now, what about how it's been doing, like in detail? Maybe explain to everybody some of the things that are in there that we're going to see a large part of in 26.
Yeah, so let's take a step back, right? Congressional Republicans, President Trump, they passed and signed the One Big Beautiful Bill all the way back in July. That seems like a lifetime ago in politics, and everyone goes about their normal life. They might have forgotten about it.
Yeah.
And, as we start to go into tax season, tax filing season starts in about a week and a half. So I'm sure all of your listeners are getting their paperwork in order. But when they go to file their taxes, they're going to see such a massive tax cut because of what President Trump and congressional Republicans did. I think they're going to be very excited when they file their taxes because they're going to have more money back. And I think as we talk about this affordability problem and how we put more money back in people's pockets, yes, it's about rising wages from the private sector, but it's also making sure Americans can keep more of what they earn. And that's exactly, I think, what's going to happen when people file before April 15th.
And what are some of the details as far as what we're going to see? I mean, obviously, standard deductions is probably one of them. They'll be a little higher. What about some of the others?
So we locked in those lower tax brackets.
Right.
So at the end of last year, everyone's taxes were going to go up. That's never going to happen again. We locked in a permanent lower rates across the board. That's great news. The standard deduction is increasing for every single taxpayer. If you have kids, your child tax credit is going up as well. That's huge. And then let's not forget some of these politically popular provisions like no tax on tips, which is so important for the million-plus tipped workers in Florida. No tax on Social Security, obviously very important. And then no tax on overtime. So, if you fall in one of those groups, you're going to see a massive tax cut. And I think if you add up all of the tax cuts together, the average American is going to see a tax cut of $3,000, which is a lot of money back in people's pockets. And 99.9% of taxpayers are going to receive a tax cut. So almost every single person is going to pay less in tax this year than what they paid last year. That's fantastic news.
Yeah. A couple of things, Tommy. One of them is I think that when the One Big Beautiful Bill passed, I don't know that many people, like you said, it passed. It was a long time ago, 6 months ago, and everybody goes about their life. They're in their world. They're equating affordability and bringing prices down as the One Big Beautiful Bill and the effects, when really tax season is when we're going to see it. And that's going to change a lot of not just the dynamic, right, for individuals, but as people are saying, a lot of this is going to get in the bloodstream economically as far as the changes. Quarter one or quarter two, quarter three this year, that's when we're going to start to see this tick, right?
Yeah, I think that's right. So, people would be paying taxes on what they earned last year. And let's not forget that the IRS, they never changed their withholding schedule for people's paychecks. That's happening starting this year. So when people receive their first paycheck on money or work for their salary that they earned starting in 2026, they're going to see bigger paychecks just because of the change in withholding schedule.
Right.
That's really big news. And I think that's that immediate, long-lasting hit that people are expecting. That's one way we get to higher paychecks. So, that's on the affordability, bigger paycheck side of things. But what about for small businesses and other job creators? Well, the small business 20% pass-through deduction, that was also made permanent. A lot of small businesses were concerned that was going to go away at the end of last year. That's here to stay forever. That's great news. So small businesses, they can plan accordingly. And then there's all these other pro-growth tax provisions, like being able to write off the cost of a factory and equipment. All of those things are going to help spur investment and job creation in the United States. And I think that's one thing that the president's team is looking at when they say, how do we grow investment? How do we grow the GDP and create jobs in this country? That was all part of the calculus. So again, I think those things are actually going to hit the mainstream of the American economy Q1 of this year and Q2. So I think, we just need to be patient a little bit to see those business effects hit the economy. But I really think they will in short order.
And can you imagine that there are people, governors in states who are like, yeah, we're not doing the no tax on tips for the employees in this state. Can you believe that there are Democrat-led states that are what are they thinking?
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. I think that's one of the reasons why people are so fed up with politics. It's just because a Republican is proposing something, Democrats have to be against it. And, of course, Republicans do the same thing from time to time as well. But again, it's taxpayers at the end of the day are the ones that are hurt by this, their own citizens. And I think that's why you're seeing such a migration of actual taxpayers from these Democratic states to places like Florida, Texas, and other Republican states is because people are sick of the politics. They just want to keep more of what they earn. It's a crazy concept.
Yeah, no, it's actually not for the lefties that are listening. It's like, yeah, exactly. No, it's not. We're just kidding. It's a joke. It's a serious issue. Now, one other thing before we go is with regard to the next steps. Like, what happens next, especially with Republicans and what we have coming up?
I think with Republicans still holding the majority in the House and the Senate, there's no guarantee we're going to have that next year, depending on how the elections shake out.
Yeah.
And I think there's a real opportunity that Republicans need to take to address our deficits, right? We run a $2 trillion a year deficit. That is crazy. That fuels inflation and takes away parts of our paycheck. That's not good. We need to get that in order. And then we should also consider doing more working class families tax relief and more pro-business, pro-growth tax cuts. I think if you take all of those things into account, we're going to put the economy on a better path and put our kids and grandkids in a better position so that way they're not hit with a debt bomb that goes off in the next 10 to 15 years.
Right. Are we, I don't know if you know the answer to this, are we near like $1 trillion just to service the interest on the debt? Is that where we are right now?
It's funny you say that. I saw a statistic today.
Yeah.
For the tax revenues for December. I think it was about $265 billion. That's how much the federal government brought in last month, and just in income taxes. Debt servicing costs, just on the interest, 63% of all of that tax revenue was going just towards interest. That's not Social Security. That's not military. That's not roads and bridges. That's just debt servicing costs, 63%. So it's a real problem.
Yeah. And just so people understand, sometimes you hear $1 trillion here, $1 trillion there, and the numbers are just, they make your head spin. But just imagine if you have a certain amount of money on a credit card and you're like, I just have to make the monthly payment because I can't afford to make anything more. That's what we're doing in the trillions of dollars. That's what this government is doing. It's a tough place to be. We talked about other countries and we talked about, not the two of us, but I have talked about this before in large groups about how if we're not careful, we're going to get to this place. And it felt like it was 5 years ago when I was having the conversation and people were like, no, $1 trillion to service. And yes, we're going to get to that place. And I don't know, I guess to your point, the more pro-growth we are, I don't know that we can necessarily grow our way out of it, but if we can lower it, that's the point. If we can get it down to a semi-manageable level, then it's not 63% or whatever number you described, right? That's where we have to be. We have to be realistic now. And so chipping away at it is a good thing.
Yeah. Growing is one part of the equation. The other part is cutting wasteful.
Yeah. Yeah, there's that. Oh, we lost him. Oh, no. Tommy's gone. All right, Tommy. Sorry, you froze. Must be Verizon. All right. Sorry, did I say that out loud? There's a Verizon outage or whatever it is going on across the country. Right, D? Wasn't that the Verizon that they're having this problem today? Yeah. So maybe Tommy was on Verizon and he was like, and that was it. He was gone. But good information. By the way, that was Tommy Aiello. He's the Senior Director of Government Affairs at the National Taxpayers Union, NTU. All right. 866-588-8303. Let's have some fun, shall we? Okay, D. I'm playing the game with you because you're the person that I'm looking at right now. Fact-checking DeSantis' final State of the State speech. Now, the Tampa Bay Times decided that they wanted to do this because the governor had a lot of things to say yesterday. And, of course, PolitiFact has to come along and say, hold on a second. We're the arbiters of all things that are true. I'm sorry. That's not true. It's really not true. But they have PolitiFact. And so they wanted to fact-check DeSantis. This ought to be good. We have delivered big results and we have set the standard for the rest of the country to follow, the governor said on Tuesday. Is that true? So a little bit about what the Tampa Bay Times said. Governor DeSantis told Floridians that under his leadership, the state's economy soared as he cracked down on illegals and protected election integrity. We have delivered big results and we have set the standard for the rest of the country. Okay. Marked the two-term governor's final State of the State, kicking off Florida's legislative session that we're in right now. So I thought we would have a little bit of fun. And with D, we'll do like I guess it'll be true or false is what we'll play. And I'll tell you a quote from the governor, and then you tell me whether or not the geniuses over at PolitiFact and the Tampa Bay Times believe that these are accurate, or, if it's truth.
Oh, so even if I agree with DeSantis,
yeah, you have to.
If I think they said it's false, I have to say false?
Right. This is about what the Tampa Bay Times and PolitiFact said about it being true or false, not what you believe, what they believe. Okay? So let's start with this. He said, quote, Florida represents about 6.5% of the U.S. population. Yet, since 2020, our economy has accounted for more than 14% of all new jobs produced throughout America. Whoa. Okay, so, D, did they say that's true, mostly true, mostly false, or false? Because I think that's how the gauge, isn't that the PolitiFact gauge?
Too many options.
All right, true or false? True or false? What do you think they said?
Let's say mostly true.
True.
Ding.
They did. He said, and you were right about that. It said, this is close to accurate. Since January 2020, Florida has added 970,000 jobs. This is almost 13% of the nearly 7.5 million jobs added in the U.S. during that period. Okay. So, D, they said it's almost true because the governor said 14%, but it was 13.7. So that's the problem.
Hey, anything you got to do to write an article.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's go to this one. Florida is the only state that requires state and local cooperation with federal immigration enforcement efforts and, quote, is responsible for the apprehension of nearly 20,000 illegal aliens. Our people are safer because of these efforts. You think it's true or false?
Sounds pretty true to me.
It sounds true.
But then I have to think about what they would say.
No, what they're going to say.
I would say mostly true again. They're going to nitpick all these numbers.
Okay.
Ding.
Yep, mostly true. The statements about federal cooperation and numbers are accurate with additional information needed on public safety. Okay. Why did you do this article, Tampa Bay Times? So far, I don't even know. Why did you bother? Florida has been one of the top enforcers of the Trump administration's mass deportation efforts, trailing only Texas for arrests. Oh, and may I throw this in for a little bit as well? Let me see if I can find this video, because I was like, no, is this happening? It almost was too perfect for me, timing wise. Let me see if I can find it, because it was just a little while ago. Oh, and of course, when I want it, I can't find it. All right, so with the issue of illegals, and if you remember, I was talking a little while ago about the fact that they want to abolish ICE and they want to defund it as well. We got to get rid of it, right? And people like, why are you going to enforce immigration? And, we'll have the local police do it, right? Well, there is a sheriff in a city, and I forget which state it's in, and I wish I could find the clip because it would be so much better if I could play it, that said, yeah, we're not going to follow 287G, the program anymore. We're not going to do anything with regard to helping ICE or doing anything. Here it is. I got it. Bucks County. I think that's Pennsylvania, isn't it? Here's the Bucks County sheriff who's
determined that the certain public safety costs of this ICE partnership are greatly outweighed by any potential public safety benefits that this partnership may offer.
See? So they're getting rid of the partnership. So let me get this straight. You're going to defund and abolish ICE. And once you do that, you're going to leave it up to the local sheriffs there and the local law enforcement across the country to handle it. And there's the Bucks County, Pennsylvania sheriff who's like, yeah, we're not helping with the 287G program because ICE. Okay, if they're not willing to help with ICE right now to bust criminal illegals, what makes you think that they're going to do anything if there is no ICE? Just ridiculous. All right, back to the Tampa Bay Times here. Let's see, one other question. Florida now has the highest average minimum teacher salary in the Southeast region. All told, we have provided a record of almost $6 billion towards this effort to better compensate our teachers. Are they saying it's true or false, Dave?
I'm going to remain with my same answer for probably the rest of the game. I'm going to say they agreed with it, but they're going to nitpick on something about the number.
Ding, ding, ding. I can't give you enough dings. This is accurate, but needs context. Oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what they said. DeSantis signed legislation in 2020 mandating a $47,500 minimum starting salary for public school teachers to boost recruitment, putting Florida in the lead for the metric in the Southeast. Okay, got it. Because funding was primarily directed to the minimum starting pay, this is according to the Tampa Bay Times, veteran Florida teachers have seen little growth, giving the state the lowest overall average teacher pay in the region, around $54,000. Georgia's overall average, by comparison, is more than $10,000 higher despite its lower starting pay. See, here's the thing that's funny about this. We're number one. Numero uno. So we're doing it the right way. So when the Tampa Bay Times says, veteran teachers, they've seen little growth. Well, it's an interesting thing about veteran teachers. You want to get the minimum salary, you want to have teachers come in. Veteran teachers seeing little growth, we definitely want to see more with veteran teachers. The only question I'm asking, and here we go, send your cards and letters, carry this radio station, I get it, to Drew Steele, or send it to D, because I get too many cards and letters, because I know you're going to get angry. So what they're saying is, Georgia spends more. Yeah, but they're not number one. But they're also spending more, I guess, on veteran teachers. Well, that's all well and good, but how are they doing? In other words, they're not number one. I don't know where Georgia stands. If you're not paying a good minimum salary to get new teachers in, and you're paying more to veteran teachers who may or may not be able to be fired. I'm just putting that out there. Are you allowed to do that? How dare you suggest that a teacher get fired? I'm just saying that in any profession, no matter what profession it is, like you get to a point where you're going to look and say, hey, you don't have a great track record. And I got one shot at this thing about teaching my kid. And so you can find another gig. It's cool. You're a very nice person, but maybe this isn't your gig. Now, when I say things like that, teachers get really mad. I mean, some of them do. Some people get mad because how dare you say that? As if what? There's no such thing as a teacher who's not very good at what they do? Name a profession that is like that, where every single person who's in a profession, when they do it, automatically, because it's that profession, they're great. They're fantastic. They're the best. Every single one of them. That's impossible. So that's all. I just wanted to add that little bit of 2 cents. That's the end of the game, D. I hope you had fun. I mean, there's more.
I did very well.
Yeah, you did excellent. There's more, but I just don't have time. Plus, I know we're getting messages already on social media about my teacher comment. D, I'm so sorry, but I have to bring you into this again. And you probably don't even want to be on this conversation. Do you hear my heart here? Do you understand what I'm saying when it comes to teachers? That there has to be such thing as a teacher who's not great. And maybe they're in the wrong profession. They love teaching kids. I get it. They want to. But they're not, they don't have a good track record.
I know some teachers like that.
Okay, and that's all right. But again, I go back to the large issue that's here. When COVID came along and took our kids out of school, when people were fighting and fighting and fighting against Common Core math, like, what is this nonsense you're doing? Oh, we have to do this because Bill Gates said so. Wait a minute, really? So for centuries, everybody else was walking into walls. They were dummies because they didn't know what to do. Somebody built the pyramids. Oh, they were aliens. Okay, got it. Anyway, the point is that when it comes to this issue and it comes to teaching, we've got one shot. And whether it was Common Core back a few years ago or whether it was COVID, if you don't get it right in the time span that your child is in school, that's it. It's done. It's gone. You can't bring it back. I mean, you could bring them back, but you can't bring those years of education back to them. That's what I hope you hear my heart. I hope you hear it.
You're listening to Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.
I'm Chris Jakimick. I served in the United States Air Force and I deployed 3 times. Being a veteran, it's interwoven into your DNA, is really the absence of the connection and the purpose that can really drive a lot of veterans to some negative thoughts. For those who are in a suicidal crisis, the window of time to save somebody's life is very short. Our duty is to protect ourselves and protect our families, and one way you can do that is store your weapons safely. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
Hey, it's Drew Steele, and I have to tell you, when my wife and I talked about getting new kitchen countertops for our house, we know who to call. Rock Solid Countertops and More, 2240 JNC Boulevard in Naples. And they have been absolutely amazing. Hugo and the team are the best. The workmanship has been absolutely incredible. The install was so easy. The process was perfect. Taking everything out, bringing the new stuff in. The quartz countertop is unbelievably beautiful, and my wife is super happy, I'll tell you. You know they have the best quality and selection of marble, quartz, granite, and a one-stop shop for all of your kitchen, outdoor, and bathroom needs. I've known it for years. I've lived in Southwest Florida 40 years. There was really only one place I was going to go. It's Rock Solid Countertops and More. I would suggest you give them a call, 596-7676. They're at 2240 JNC Boulevard in Naples. Find out what they can do for you. Countertops, cabinets, plantation shutters, they do it all. Rock Solid Countertops and More.
Let's see, if something costs less, a lot less, but people are actually happier with it, that sounds like something to look into. And that's MetaShare. Maybe you've heard joining MetaShare can save you or your family up to $500 a month, and that's huge. But it's also true, people are just happier with it. They love being part of something that reflects and promotes their values and what they believe in. MetaShare works, too. It's been around for 30 years now, and members have shared more than $7 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network, so yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care, whether you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan that you're happy with. Here you go. You can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. It's 855-SHARE-40. 855-SHARE 40. 855-SHARE-40. 855-SHARE-40.
Since the dawn of time, man and wildlife have shared a connection, and hunting traditions passed down from generation to generation have connected man to the natural world, from bow and arrow to hook and bullet. As man evolved, our link to those traditions remain with them forever. Yet today, our basic instinct to provide and as part of the hunt to conserve and appreciate the natural world has fallen under attack for the first time in human history. The misguided politicians and radical activists pushing an agenda to end hunting as we know it, or leading a war against our heritage and their misguided policies and protests. They demonize hunters and belittle our way of life, the results of hunters leaving the sport in droves, while our wildlife and ecosystems suffer the consequences as conservation funding dries up. Named after the father of the North American model for wildlife conservation, the International Order of T. Roosevelt is fighting in the arena to protect and expand the rights of hunters everywhere. We will fight back against these forces to make sure that every American has a right to hunt, enshrined in their state constitutions. We will educate the next generation in our traditions and seek to expand accessibility so that everyone can enjoy our pastimes. And we will continue to hold true to our namesake's efforts to protect, preserve, and ensure open access to our nation's wildlands. Teddy Roosevelt's vision for American conservation defines our modern hunting and conservation system, a system upheld by the idea that conservation efforts are crucial to our hunting way of life, and that hunters are crucial to successful conservation.
To some, the sound of a baby babbling doesn't mean much, but that's not true. They're testing out vowels and consonants and trying different sounds. And by 12 months, their babbling is beginning to take on meaning. Especially if there's no babbling at all. Little to no babbling by 12 months or later is just one of the possible signs of autism in children. Learn more at autismspeaks.org.
Hey, it's Drew Steele. Look, are you still playing defense with your money? It's time to shift gears and seize the fresh opportunities this new pro-business environment has to offer. That's exactly what certified financial planner professional Alfie Townsend and the team at Advantage Retirement Group do for high net worth investors like you, helping you go on the offense with advanced tax strategies, thoughtful risk management, and forward-thinking financial planning. Imagine enjoying the retirement lifestyle you've worked so hard to achieve, all while staying one step ahead and in a changing world. You've got to do it. Alfie and his team design personalized strategies to strengthen your financial foundation so you can focus on living life on your terms. Ready to find out more? Text VISIT to 239-747-7470. Again, you can call or text 239-747-7470. Schedule your one-on-one consultation today and see how a proactive approach can help you thrive no matter what the market does next. Don't wait. Call or text VISIT to 239-747-7470 right now.
Now, back to Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.
I'm looking at this top 5 audio clip list that I have. I don't know if I like it. I got to be honest. I don't know if it represents the real top 5 audio clips. And so much has been going on today that as I'm perusing, more pops up and I'm like,
We've got time to play some more afterwards.
Yeah, I guess we do. So just put that aside for a minute. I don't know, that was weird. Anyway, it's pretty,
okay.
It's pretty good.
This without ice.
Whoa, all right. Got ahead of myself. All right, here it is, everybody, for better or worse. It's the top 5 audio clips of the day. It's my top 5. 5, 4,
3, 2, 1. This is Drew's top 5. Number 5.
And we must reform ICE. But it looks at this stage, folks, ICE is beyond reform. ICE is totally out of control. And this week, I intend to introduce a bill to abolish ICE. We need to make ICE go away. 2003. Before 2003, without ICE, various federal agencies were able to take care of business, and we can do this without ICE. But we do not need the murderers. We do not need this paramilitary organizations, members on our street.
Wow. Okay. He's an interesting guy. This representative from Michigan, I think that's where he's from. Representative Sri Thanadar. It's interesting to me because he's one of those guys, that when he speaks, like even when he's mad, he's got that smile. Like he always smiles even when he's angry. It's like he says something.
He's happy when he's angry.
Yeah, he's happy. He's happy when he's mad. Same guy who tried to impeach the president and failed. And now he's got a bill to abolish ICE, and we need to make ICE go away. We do not need the murderers. Wow. So just in case you're wondering if and when Democrats are in charge once again, what it's going to be like. Oh, boy.
Number 4.
The Supreme Court today effectively gave candidates the right to sue to challenge voting laws that they disagree with. Considering how Republicans have continuously called for election reform, do you have any concerns that there could be a flurry of lawsuits brought by Republicans ahead of the 2026 midterms, challenging voting laws in different states?
We're assuming that Republicans are going to do everything possible to prevent a free and fair election from taking place in November of 2026. Why? Because Republicans know that if a free and fair election takes place, they're losing.
Oh, I hurt my side. I laughed so hard. I didn't expect that. I'm sorry. I didn't preview. Hold on. I didn't preview this clip before I played it, so forgive me if my laughter is so real that I hurt my side. Oh, wow. That is funny. That is Representative Hakeem Jeffries, the House Minority Leader. And he's very upset because the Supreme Court, by a 7-2 vote, said that Republicans can challenge laws in states now when it comes to late mail-in ballots. For example, in Illinois, where the case was sent up to the courts, they wanted to have for you to be able to count ballots 2 weeks after the election. And anybody with some common sense is like, no, that's a bad idea. But there's Hakeem Jeffries who's like, they're going to prevent a free and fair election in 26. And if there were one, like in 2024, then they know they'd lose. I just think it's funny because I mean, for a couple of different reasons. Number one, because preventing a free and fair election. Now, that's your game, my friend. And then on the other side of that, it's like there are some people that think about the last election that wasn't free and fair. And
true international average of pressure.
That's when that guy won with like 800 million votes in the state of Florida alone, which was really crazy. I don't know how he did that.
Number 3.
You know, I was talking to some of my guys after I interviewed the judge. It's like we've got 23 plus million people, you know, in the state of Florida, and I would guarantee you, you will not find 10 people out of that 23 million that knows more about Florida government, not just law and Supreme Court and courts, but the agencies, the legislative branch, all that, than Judge Tannenbaum. I mean, he knows this stuff very, very well. And I think he's bringing, I mean, I was thinking like he probably knows more. I mean, I've been running the executive branch. He may know more than, I mean, he knows how these things work. He knows the pressure points. And I think it's very valuable knowledge to be able to do it. So he's had to think deeply about what's the purpose of the Constitution of the state and these institutions. Now, and ultimately, it's to preserve a free society, to give people opportunities to be able to make the most of their God-given talents.
So what is the governor of the great state of Florida, Ron DeSantis, talking about there? Well, today he made the announcement, a very, very important announcement. It's important because when somebody says, hey, there's a lot of really good reasons why you want a Republican governor. Can you give me just one? Sure. He announced Judge Adam Tannenbaum as his pick for the Florida Supreme Court, praising his deep understanding of Florida government, the Constitution, and like you just heard, I mean, the guy knows his stuff. He's the real deal. And could you imagine if, somebody else were governor of the state instead, and they had the ability to put somebody on the Florida Supreme Court? Who knows what that would be like?
Marijuana?
I know. That's what I was thinking. It could have been.
Number 2.
All these years, I thought I was overeating. I was standing there with all the food noise, what I ate, what I should eat, how many calories was that, how long was it going to take. I thought that was because of me and my fault. Yeah. Now I understand that if you carry the obesity gene, if that is what you have, that is what makes you overeat. You don't overeat and become obese. Right. Obesity causes you to overeat. Right. Obesity causes you to have all of that food noise. And what the GLP-1s have done for me, and I know a number of other people, is to quiet that noise.
Yeah. Wait, no, you're not allowed to do that. So that's Oprah Winfrey. You can always find an Oprah book someplace. Why? I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, she was popular on TV a long, long time ago. And then she turned into a crazy lefty like all of them. And next thing you know it, she's on The View, where they're talking about, what is it, GLP-1s? Is that that's the, what do you call it, shots? The
weight management, weight loss?
Yeah, and Ozempic, right. So there's Oprah Winfrey touting Ozempic and these drugs and talking about, you don't overeat to become obese. Obesity causes you to overeat. And wait a minute, no, you're not allowed to do that. I thought you lefties don't like it when people without a doctor, a DR before their name, without a degree as a doctor. I thought you don't like when people give you medical advice like that. I thought that was the whole thing with the HHS secretary. No. We're not doing that.
Number 1.
Miss Verma, can men get pregnant?
Dr. Verma,
Yes.
I just want to make sure we're all
Dr. Verma,
addressing
can
each
men
other
get
with
pregnant?
respect.
As a doctor, give me your opinion. As a doctor, can men get pregnant?
I mean,
I'll move on to the next one. Doctor, can men get pregnant?
No.
I know you're a lawyer, an AG, like I was an AG. Can men get pregnant?
No.
That took place today in the Senate. That was Senator Ashley Moody, who unbelievably, as there was a hearing going on at the Senate, and a couple of doctors and an AG, as they were talking, I believe, about men, boys and girls sports. And there it is, once again, the fundamental question of fundamentality that is fundamental to everybody's fundamentalism. That was really weird. Dr. Verma, who's got a doctor, 2 letters, DR with a dot there before her name starts. And she wanted to make sure that Senator Ashley Moody knew that. Can men get pregnant? No.
Drew's Top 5.
No. We're not. We are doing this, aren't we? We're still there, everybody. You know, it is a fundamental question that everybody knows the answer to. And some individuals in this country are trying to convince a population, maybe younger people, that that men can become women. They can identify, and that's good enough. And it's just, it's not. Because then you have a doctor who's trying to tell you or not tell you whether or not a man could get pregnant. Which brings up the issue of, hey, I don't know if I want you as my doctor. Because, it's like, I think I got a hangnail here, and next thing you know it, I've got like 10 teeth pulled. It's like, wait a second, why'd you do that? My tooth has nothing to do with the hangnail. I'm just saying, I don't know what kind of doctor she is. She could be a hangnail doctor and ended up pulling my teeth. Because if she doesn't know if men can get pregnant, she may end up doing that, allegedly. I'm just saying. Come on, you're laughing a little bit, but that's not far off base, is it? D? Is that outrageous to say? I mean,
it's scary.
It is. It absolutely is. All right, a couple of other things I wanted to get to here at Florida's Voice. All right, let's see. Yeah, I just want to make sure we have enough time to play some of these, and I'm just double checking on them. Yeah, I guess we probably could. You know, I saw some video out there that was pretty remarkable. The great Maze Moore on X, Tom Elliott, Grabian, they all do fantastic work. Great follow at Maze Moore. Reminding us in 2016, CNN did a segment entitled A Day with ICE in a so-called sanctuary city. They rode around with ICE from the break of dawn until night, watching them conduct raids, doing what it is that they do. Can we play a little bit of this here?
Just before the sun rises in the Windy City, Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents fan out across Chicago to arrest criminals in the U.S. illegally.
Yep. Now, remind you, CNN 2016. Who's the president of the United States in 2016? Okay? Because it wasn't until 2017. So follow my lead. May of 2016. They go around while ICE is conducting raids, arresting illegals. They weren't criticizing ICE, as Maze Moore was talking about. They were celebrating them. It was, quote, exclusive access during the Obama years. And CNN thought, this is awesome. We get to watch what ICE is doing. And according to this video, ICE made a, quote unquote, mistake arrest. And CNN was like, yeah, no big deal. I mean, stuff happens. 6 months later, Trump won the election, and then ICE is labeled the Gestapo because that's how this works. It shouldn't work this way, but it did. And one other thing about the Obama administration, unreal. Oh, by the way, about the ICE agent who fatally shot Renee Good on January 7th in Minneapolis, Jonathan Ross. CBS News today saying that he suffered internal bleeding to the torso following the incident, according to 2 U.S. officials. Huh. I thought the vehicle was nowhere near him. There's that. Here's a video from 2016 as well. Was this 2016? See if we can find this. Oh my, I don't have it. Basically, it was the Obama administration, once again, that was telling people, oh, here it is, okay. 2016 it was. Obama's press secretary was being asked about ICE. Can I play it? Do I have enough? I don't have enough time to play it. All right. Anyway, I'll just tell you. Asked about reports that during immigration raids, ICE agents were storming into homes, going room to room, looking for illegals, making children tremble with fear. 2016, Obama administration. Huh? Really? That was, and you didn't say a word about it, the media. You just let it go. It's weird how that works with Obama and Trump. Huh?
You're listening to Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says.
Avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, honey bear.
Because remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
All right, son. Time to put out this campfire.
Dad, we learned about this in school.
Oh, did you now? Okay. What's first?
Smokey Bear said to.
First drown it with a bucket of water, then stir it with a shovel.
Wow. You sound just like him.
Then he said.
If it's still warm, then do it again.
Where can I learn all this?
It's all on SmokeyBear.com with other wildfire prevention tips, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
You know, a lot of times you have to choose between something high quality or something that saves you money. But if you could get both, why not? Especially when it comes to healthcare, and that is MediShare. You get both. Many families save $500 a month with MediShare, and that's huge. But it's also true that people wind up way more satisfied, too. The member satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. That's because MediShare works. It has for more than 30 years. It's a community of Christians who have shared more than $5 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth. They love the huge PPO network. So, yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price in 2 minutes. Here's the number. Just call 855-SHARE-40. That's 855-SHARE-40. 855-SHARE-40.
Hey, it's Drew Steele. Look, if you're looking to take advantage of today's pro-business environment and strengthen your financial future, certified financial planner professional Alfie Townsend and his team at Advantage Retirement Group have got you covered. They specialize in advanced tax strategies, risk management, and retirement planning, all aimed at helping high net worth investors like you thrive. Now, Alfie wants to share those insights with you with his book, Keeping You on the Retirement Fairway. It's packed with practical tips and forward-thinking strategies to help you make the most out of your hard-earned wealth. Ready to get your free copy? Text BOOK to 239-747-7470. That's 239-747-7470. Don't wait. Learn how to capitalize on that pro-business opportunities that are out there right now and secure the confident retirement you deserve. Once again, text BOOK to 239-747-7470 right now, and let Alfie Townsend and Advantage Retirement Group help guide you toward a stronger, more confident financial future.
We're with Bridget, whose husband won't be home for months and whose daughter is due any day. We're with Mike, who's leaving home to protect his family and yours. We're with all service members and their families who need community, connection, and maybe a bit of magic. Are you with them? Learn more at USO.org today. We're with Liam after his 4th military move. when being new is starting to get old. We're with Tara during the holidays, when she misses home the most. We're with all service members and their families who need connection, comfort, and a home away from home. Are you with them? Learn more at uso.org today.
Now, back to Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.
Here's how to pick the perfect navel orange. You might be thinking it's all about the color. Nay, I think that is the third most important orange aspect to look at. The first, the booty. The second, the weight. The third, the color. When you look at the undercarriage, it has a prolapsed booty. So this would automatically get dinged in my book. This orange has no business to do. It's completely locked down tight. It's very heavy. It has a tiny booty. That means it's going to be sweet and it's going to be juicy.
I can't do it, D. I just can't. First of all, can we stop with this? I don't know. I guess some of the influencers who do these things, who aren't really influencers. So videos are circulating online saying that the secret to picking the sweetest navel orange is you look at the bottom of the orange, okay, and how it sits. And I guess that it has to be completely, sometimes you'll see the bottom and it's like a little bit open, and that's not good. It's got to be completely closed. And they're describing how the bottom is, and the bottom has to be small and completely closed up, right? I can't take her seriously because she used the word nay and undercarriage.
And booty.
And booty. Like, why? So I feel bad because I really want to test the theory, but I also want to deny you the satisfaction of being right because you used the words booty, undercarriage, and nay. Is that cruel? What do you think, Dave? Is that
No.
Yeah, okay. I just want to make sure.
That's reality.
No, that is reality. All right. Speaking of reality and navel oranges, the reality is tonight, overnight, waking up first thing in the morning, it's going to be downright cold. Your undercarriage is going to be quite chilly coming up tonight and tomorrow morning. It's looking like it's going to be mid-20s in a lot of the areas across the state, northern and central. Freeze warnings in certain areas across the central portion of the state. So it's going to be downright cold. And let me see. Let me just read, because the Tampa Bay Times had the story, and I like the way that they put it, because they had a guide to survive the coldest weather of the season. And they were explaining that don't forget your gloves and your warm stuff. Of course not. It's cold. Of course I'm going to wear. You've been living in Florida for a long time. I know cold. Anyway, point is, forecasters said temperatures could fall as low as 24 degrees north of Tampa Bay. Hard freeze is possible for inland levee in Citrus counties. Pinellas, parts of coastal Hillsborough will be out of it. And the same thing with the East Coast, centrally and northern Florida. It's going to be, like I said, cold. And just be ready for some of the temperatures that we are going to see. Not like last year when we had that record snowfall and everybody was like, climate change. No. It's wasn't anything like that. It's
How dare you?
Oh, I didn't say anything about you. But it's going to be cold. The coldest weather of the season so far, but no snow. Not in the forecast, at least. And like I said, much of the state's going to be under a freeze warning, so just be ready for that as you get up. And I'm looking at a map here from the National Weather Service, and pretty incredible how far south it goes. I mean, it's covering all of the state of Florida, south right down to Sebring, North Fort Myers, on the West Coast, on the East Coast. It looks like West Palm. Wow. So just get ready for the cold. It's on the way tonight, tomorrow, and we'll see you tomorrow, not tonight. We're busy tonight.
You're listening to Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.